What's going on, Drinking Buddies? Brand new podcast coming right at you, but you know what we got to do first. We got to talk about those things that generate a little revenue for the show. First and foremost, we are brought to you by the Patreon at patreon.com/MattSlayer. Did you know you can support this show for as little as $3 a month, less than the cost of a beer, for a little bit more, just a touch more? You can get the audio versions ad-free. You can get the video versions ad-free. You can get the video versions early and uncensored. So what are you waiting for? Support the show. Go to patreon.com/MattSlayer. We are also brought to you by the merch store at anwd.net/merch. Pick up a shirt, pick up a hat, get some awesome and now we drink merch. What are you waiting for? Go to anwd.net/merch. Pick yourself up something awesome today. Buy someone and now we drink shirt for the holidays. We are also brought to you by our friends at bskyverified.social. Are you on Blue Sky? Have you made the transition over there yet? Are you of note? Did you have a legacy checkmark on Instagram or Twitter? Apply to get verified today by bskyverified.social. It is Blue Sky's first third-party verification service. When your fans see a bskyverified.social handle, they know it's you with confidence. So go to bskyverified.social today and apply. Last but not least, the real super easy way to support this show is twofold. It's free. It costs you nothing. Signal boost, share. Also, actually, there's 3 this week. The fan votes are open at AVN. We're nominated for Best Adult Podcast again. You can vote daily. Vote for the show. And also go to the YouTube channel and subscribe at youtube.com/andnowwedrink. These are all things that take a couple minutes out of your life. That's all I ask. That's not all I ask, but it's one of the many things I ask of you. All right, let's get on with it. My guest this week is the one and only Ivy Minx. This was a super fun one. I will apologize in advance if you're going to go watch the video versions. The SD card got corrupted, and Ivy's camera is all jacked up. The whole video is there, but it flickers like she's on VHS at times. A bunch of times. I did my best to try to fix it. Could not fix it. Is what it is. So sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, Drinking Buddies. After a half-hour bullshitting off air, spilling all the tea.
I know, I'm so chatty.
Oh my God, that's so horrible for a fucking podcast.
I know.
That's the worst.
Worst guest on there, you know?
Like someone who wants to talk. Why? Why would I book someone who wants to talk and express their feelings and emotions about things? Why would I ever want that on a podcast?
Are you a masochist?
That's in the eyes of the beholder for the years of doing this. Maybe. I feel like every podcaster who is not corporately backed may be a little bit of a masochist.
Just a tiny bit. I mean, it's all work, no no gains. Just
there's gain here.
Okay. There's
gain here.
Okay, there are gains.
There's a knob.
Really good, actually. Laura was like, you need to go on this podcast. So that's a gain.
There's a gain knob on this control. There's a gain knob. There's gain.
Do you have 1 or 2? 4.
4 gain knobs.
That's above average.
It might be too many. Only 2 mics.
Yeah, that might be full. Then you have the potential for more. It's always better to be prepared.
It
Can't
is.
go wrong.
I found out today through not reading an article on Twitter, but at least retweeting it, that apparently Trojan condoms are giving forever plastics.
You post about that before. I was like in the Uber on the way here, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Good thing I barely use condoms. I could probably count on my hands and my toes how many times I've used condom in my life, and I've had a lot of sex. So, yeah, I'll just kind of throw the rest of them away.
No water balloons.
That's not a bad idea. You know, I'm into clown porn. Not like I don't get off to it, but like I do it sometimes. I've definitely
do clowns. I mean, that's good on you.
I haven't been fucked by a clown, but I've had people fuck me while I am a clown, like in clown makeup.
Oh, come on. We've all fucked some clowns.
I mean, I've fucked some clowns, but that's not.
We've all fucked them.
I fuck them and then I continue to do it. So am I the clown for fucking the clown? Like,
no, you're just part of the circus.
I am an acrobat. Like literally, like I do the lyra hoop hanging. I have one in my kitchen hanging from my ceiling. Instead of like a dining room where I should have a meal and breakfast comfortably in the morning, I have a acrobatics hoop that I use while I microwave my burritos.
Are you like pressing the buttons while you're in the hoop?
Well, I press the buttons and then I go spin on the hoop while it's cooking to keep myself entertained because I get really bored.
Slacker. You got to get in the hoop first and then.
It's kind of far away. There's like a big island in my kitchen separating it. I'm 5'1". Even if I tried to use like my toes against the thing and reach across, I still wouldn't be able to touch my microwave.
Well, who mounted their hoop poorly?
I would break my ankle otherwise. And honestly, a friend of mine
Got
did
to.
it. I do, but I'm a foot fetishist too. Like people like my ankle.
Well, yeah, they're not going to cut it off.
That's already destroyed them.
They're not going to cut your foot off if you break it, unless you break it real bad.
There is also a fetish for casting. I've never broken a bone, knock on wood, or sprained anything, or
So why wouldn't you want to do it in the comfort of your own home?
Well, I did beat my head open on accident the other day feeding my cat. Sharp corners on counters are not safe for adults, babies, or anything. They should always put rounded corners. It's just dangerous. It sucks. A little boo-boo. It was not little, though. I mean, I was bleeding down my whole face, and I was like too stunned to speak, so I just continued trying to feed my cat as I'm also holding a paper towel to my head. Not a fun.
Why did you not take selfies?
I did.
Okay.
I posted on my Discord.
I was about to say, like, those would sell.
I know. I didn't want to sell them. I have like a photo of me very upset, naked, holding my boobs with a big old gash on my head. But luckily it's not visible. Like I have bangs and also it's far enough up on my head that you wouldn't be able to tell.
People are into it. Why would you hide that?
Well, I wouldn't choose to hide it. I have to shave my head to show it off. So
Shave your head.
I've done that. It takes forever to grow back. I guess
we could shave it right now.
I don't know.
Don't trust me with clippers?
Asked me that like 7 years ago, and I would have been begging you for the clippers. But nowadays, I've worked so hard to grow my hair out. I cut it all short in like 2021, and now it's like, I can I have a hair bra. That's what I was working towards. It's like I can't on
you could just go buy a wig.
Well, no, but they're not as good. I wanted my own hair. If I wanted to cut it short, I'd buy a wig and just pretend to have it short for a day and then commit to knowing that I would have to do this all over again. It's like worse than anal. It takes years.
What kind of anal are you having that takes years?
None. I've never done anal. I can only imagine it. It's like a preparation period.
No one's been inside your asshole ever.
Still an anal virgin after
like
5
in real
years
life.
Born.
No, real life.
No, really. Like, no, I won't.
Why?
Because I want to save it.
For what?
Originally, I was going to save it for kink.com. And then I was an extra on set with them and decided that I didn't want them taking my anal virginity anymore. And that I was going to save it for something else. And then I let Lexi fuck me with like these little small... they weren't small. I ripped my butthole. The butt plug things. And I fisted her, and it was really fun. So that was like my first more true anal experience. So no penis has gone in my butt. But I've had other things, like no dildos either. No full-size dildos. No one's fucked my ass. I want to, it's sacred. I have a great butthole, and I want to make sure that the person who fucks my ass is special.
You had a great butthole. You just tore it.
Shh. It went back to normal. It's fine.
How do you know? You can't see it. You have never seen...
Don't you think I look at my butthole more than anybody else?
No, you look at reflections of your butthole. You have never seen your butthole.
That's true.
No human has.
That's insane. But I've seen my vagina.
Well, yeah, that's different. That's a different hole. I hate to break it to you. Those are separate holes.
Actually, the vagina is not a hole.
Okay.
I mean, actually, maybe it's the canal.
Vaginal canal, yeah. Like,
and the labia.
You've seen your labia, Medora.
I see my labias. I don't see my vagina. Actually, I was incorrect there, but still, we're going to be both wrong.
Yeah, but don't have one of those, so I'm allowed to be wrong. Yeah. People expect men to be wrong about that.
You have holes. You just don't want to put anything in there because you're not cool enough.
That's exactly right. I will happily admit I am not cool enough to put things in my holes.
I'm scared of sounding. I've never done it to someone, but I've been asked to do it to someone. Like on the internet, they've asked me like to talk them through it.
Who wants to telecommute in their sounding? That's a weird one.
I mean, sound and sounding kind of go hand in hand, don't they? And I'm sure they make, like, if they don't already, Lovin should get in on this, or some sort of like sex toy company that does, Bluetooth toys. I've done. Anyway, before I give off talking, they should make like a Bluetooth I want to make sure that I can Bluetooth control like maybe a vibrating sounding device. I'd be happier doing long distance so they can control it. But I'd be having control of the vibrations. That's not uncommon. They have Lush devices and stuff that like you could control from anywhere. You could be in China and I could be in America and you could get a code and control my vibrator. That's a thing.
Well, yeah, the vibrator and a sounding rod.
But they make vibrating silicone sounding pieces. So I'm wondering if they could just make the Bluetooth technology to go alongside a vibrating sounding piece and I could control that. That would be fine.
For someone.
Well, that's even less intense than what my next thing was, is that I had a fan one time ask me It was really bizarre. They were like, were you into like electroplay? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't really have e-stim kit. Oh, I said, no, I don't like being zapped, but I'm okay with electrocuting other people. I just don't have an e-stim kit. And he was like, oh, no, I have like a cock thing. Then you can Bluetooth control it. It's like a dog collar. He had like an electric dog collar that he rigged up and made so it was Bluetooth connected. And I could sit there from my computer and electrocute his dick and balls. And like there were different like types of electrocutions that I could do. And I don't know, I was scared I was going to kill the guy because he stopped typing at one point. And I'm like, oh, because I didn't realize how intense it was going to be. Because it's not a sex toy. It's a dog collar that he made Bluetooth and zap himself. He did.
Apparently it is now a sex toy.
Well, it's for him, but it's not marketed retail. Like, I don't see that. I've never seen it. I've never seen any company release that. That was him. He just knows how to make something. It was like a weird website too, but
I'm sure he just
did it.
Reduced the length on a collar and just so it was tighter around his scrotum.
Yeah, oh that. But the Bluetooth connection. Like
I'm sure they make Bluetooth dog collars.
Oh my God.
I'm sure they do.
I haven't seen him in a while, but he's come back around. I hope he comes back again. I'm very curious about how he manages to enjoy being.
Oh, yeah.
They do Bluetooth dog collars. You can electrocute them with from a distance. Yeah. That's inhumane, but we'll take it. It's okay for humans to do it, but like I would not want to put that on a dog. I don't care if it's a pit bull. I love pit bulls. There's no bad breed of dog, by the way. I'm not going to say that there is. I can't stand the idea. There's someone told me the other day that they have a genetic quirk or if they bite down, they can't let go of their jaw no matter what. I'm like, well, then don't piss off the pit bull.
Humans are stupid.
Humans are stupid.
Just regurgitate information that they think they know.
Yeah. And I'm like, have you ever raised a pit bull? I've never been bitten by one. I could put a whole baby with a pit bull. And as long as, it's raised right, it'll be fine.
And if it's raised wrong, you just make a new baby later.
Yeah. You can always have another one. Just get a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that hard. That's what they make it seem like. Like, you just don't get the choice if you want to get rid of it or not. You just go get a new one, though.
They're really easy to replace. They're actually fun to replace.
Oh, yeah. That's why I have an IUD, though. I don't want them. Other people, like my friends can have them, but I don't need them. I'm good.
Same.
Yeah, I'm a cat mom. I have a cat named Jinx. She's my world, my pride and joy. I miss you, Jinx. Be home soon.
Are you going to play this for Jinx when you get home?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I will play this for my cat when I get back home. Maybe even sooner if it comes up before then, but I doubt that. But if it doesn't, I'll be like, this is what I was doing while I was gone. Don't worry. Never again. But then it will happen again.
You're saying you're not doing the show ever again? Wow.
Wow, Ivy. I gaslight my cat into thinking that I'm not going to leave. And
we're less than 10 minutes and you're always like, I'm not doing this ever.
No, that's not.
I can't believe people talked me into this shit. 10 minutes in, you're just like, this was a mistake. The 30 minutes before we got on air, that was okay. The minute the mic started running, that was a mistake.
No, I'm not good. No, it's actually been quite great because we're both Aquarians. So I think we banter pretty well. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm making assumptions. Makes an ass out of you and me, but you were already an ass and so was I. So it didn't need a change. We just came in here as assholes individually. Mine virgin, yours probably not. Is your asshole?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Okay, well, I guess we are both anal virgins. Cheers to that.
Yeah. I've had a proctology scope up there, and that's about it.
Lexi told me it's impulse. Oh, you do that too. Good.
Yeah, I wasn't raised outside of a bar. She was giving me
garbage for like clinking glasses because that's improper because crystal glasses can break when it happens.
Yeah, like I'm using crystal.
No, I was like, there's like rubbing off letters. I think it's Jamon.
Yes,
Irish whiskey.
It's Irish whiskey, Spanish ham.
Yeah.
Jamon. No, fucking. Do you think I would trust anyone in this house with proper stemware? There is some in the cabinet. I'm not trusting people with it.
No, I wouldn't give them either. Thick. No. Yeah. I wouldn't even trust me. One time I went to a collaboration with some models and it was a great couple, good friends of mine. Actually, I don't know if they're dating anymore. Anyways.
You don't know if they're friends anymore either?
Well, I am friends with them, but when people leave the industry, it's kind of awkward. Like, and especially when a couple breaks up, because I work with so many couples.
Stop being a homewrecker.
I'm not. It's not even my fault.
Of course it's not your fault. Of course it's not.
A year or two after we worked.
Well, yeah. Dude was still thinking about your pussy years later.
Maybe it was my fault. They broke up because I didn't come back to visit them. And they needed my pussy to rekindle the flame. And I just didn't come back and give it to them. I was busy. I had other things to do. Other couples wanted my kindling pussy. He
was just, every time he fucked you, he was like, this is mediocre. When is Ivy coming back?
I don't think he and I ever had sex, actually.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
He sucked my dick, though.
That makes it even worse. That he was just like, I wonder what Ivy's pussy was like. I wonder.
That's many. I mean, I don't know. I've been told it's pretty all right.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I will have.
Most people don't. Well, a few, maybe 100 or more do.
mean, that's a lot more than the average person has.
I know. I don't really think so, because what do you count as sex? For me, I don't determine penetration necessarily always as sex, because I've done a lot of BDSM at the club. And so sometimes maybe I'll saran wrap someone and they will have an orgasm via like toys, but it's not me penetrating them or them penetrating me. Does that still count as anything, or is it just a sexual experience?
I mean, it's just a sexual experience.
But someone else would consider that cheating, so is it not?
Well, yeah. There's a difference between physical cheating and emotional cheating.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's both.
Depends on the situation, depends on the rules.
Also, I wasn't dating anyone when I was doing that stuff.
Yeah, they were the cheater, obviously.
No, I don't like
just a homewrecker.
cheating. I think there's like, I'm polyamorous. Like, cheating is a weird thing. You can definitely cheat and be polyamorous, but I think that most of the relationships I've experienced communicate better than that. And
you'd hope so.
I'd hope so. I don't date what's it called? I don't date couples, right? And I don't join polycules. I'm solo poly. So I just kind of float around. I do what I want.
Everyone I've ever heard who said they were solo poly were solo poly until they met the right person.
Well, sure. I don't deny that possibility. I ultimately long-term would love to have like a nesting partner or someone that, really meshes with my vibe. That's not going to try to change who I am structurally as a person. Like, I love what I do.
So you don't want to date a plastic surgeon. Got it.
Yeah, no. No, I don't think I'd ever want to get plastic surgery. I love my nose. I hate my lips, but I've learned that honestly, I'm kind of okay with it, because there's so many people who don't have natural lips anymore. No shame to them, as some people get really nice fillers and some people get addicted to fillers.
Some people have hot dogs on their face.
And some people just, you can see the insecurity through it. And maybe that's just the preference. But personally, I like that maybe I look a little less unnatural.
Well,
I have tattoos and all, but I don't feel like I give the vibe of, completely fake. I'm only partially fake. Well, I don't want to say I'm partially fake. I think I'm pretty upfront. Being fake requires you to be kind of withholding, right? Like, what determines being fake? What makes you think like that's a fake person, and that's a genuine person? What's the difference for you?
Their actions. Okay. A lot of it is based on their actions.
What kind of actions? Like, is it fake people are inconsistent, or is it
inconsistent? Or a good example that comes to mind is people that will come on here, talk shit about other shows, and how much they dislike the hosts, and then a couple months later, I see them on that show.
That's a good way to get booked again.
I don't care.
So many people would love to have a conversation with you if you're going to talk shit about them after.
Well, I'm also not here to blow up their spot and be like,
you don't seem like a type to take it personally.
Oh, no.
Yeah, why would you?
No, it just sits in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, this person like volunteered this information. It wasn't like I was talking shit about this other person. They're just like, that person sucks. And then I see them on that other person's show. It's just like, well, that's pretty fake behavior.
Yeah. Going against what you've said that you are about, or what you stand for, or opinions you've had.
Right.
Okay.
So and I don't begrudge someone for like going on a popular show that's going to help their numbers, help their visibility.
Yeah.
But you volunteered the information that you didn't like this person.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you go and do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, think about it too. Then maybe it's similar to the concept of like, I hate him so much, I'm done. And then you get right back with the same toxic guy. Like, same vibe, but it's just different because it's professional. So we can look past some of the awkwardness, because it's like, well, it's your job. Don't you want the publicity? Don't you want to be on so-and-so's pod? No, I don't. I don't want.
You don't want to be here?
Wow.
Wow.
You are obsessed with me leaving. Do you have abandonment issues? No, I want to be here. I'm here right now.
Why?
Well, I mean, you're an Aquarius, and you have good taste in bars. That does it for
Those
me.
are both accurate.
The bar is low in this world, especially in mine.
Hey,
it does not take much. You got me pineapple juice. Oh my God, I'm on Earth. Or
I literally took pineapple juice out of my fridge that was already here.
Ooh.
When you're like, pineapple juice, I'm like, cool, I don't have to leave my house today.
I brought my own bottle just because I'm very picky. It's not your fault. You have options. You have tons of. I see it. Like, there's so many. But I'm like, I want Malibu because I'm feeling like I'm in LA. So I need to. Is Malibu a California thing, or is that
no?
That's a Florida thing. As a kid, I constantly confused Florida and California. I thought they were the same. I would constantly tell like, oh yes, and that. No, they couldn't be more different. They don't even sound the same. But I thought they sounded the same. I was convinced. No, and now I know. See, I'm still convinced. I still don't know the difference. But hey, it's fine.
Well,
I'm not here for geography. I suck dick for a living.
Well, but what if people want to know where you're sucking dick?
Well, that's a Google away. I'm Googleable.
Yeah, but you may post that you're in the wrong place. We're in Miami right now, after all.
Yeah, we're in Miami. I hate Miami. It's too hot. I've never had a good time there. I mean, I've had okay experiences, but when it says overall, like the joy, I won't even go to Exotica Miami. I went to Expos Miami this year, and it was, again, the event was fine. The heat, and then just the heat makes you a different person.
Did I see you at Expos this year?
I was nominated.
I didn't go to the award show.
Oh, well, I didn't win, so it's okay. If I had won, I'd be a little bit sad. I'm like, you didn't see that? No, it's okay. You didn't miss anything. I got really drunk at Expos, and I will never drink a Sex on the Beach again. No.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't really a great drink to order at a bar. Every bartender that saw me order that and heard it, and she looked at me like I was a champ, like not a champ, like a kid. They're like, you don't.
They're like, can I see some ID?
Basically, like, why are you here? Like, go somewhere else. Because I go to dive bars at home a lot of the time, or I used to. I used to go to dive bars. Now I go to like craft cocktail lounges, like I mentioned earlier. Because I'm from Nashville and there's nothing else to do. You can drink, you can eat, you can go to a concert.
You can go viral for talking about spitting on a dick.
Oh, yeah. And she doesn't even suck dick. As far as I've gathered. I haven't seen her do it.
I'm sure she does it off camera.
But
I hope so.
with how she talked about it, she better be fucking great. I hope she Haktuas to her soul. Like, it has to be... I take personal offense. I'm a Nashville girl who Haktua to her death. And then there's one over here who can't even get herself to film one video. She's on a she has her own podcast now.
She does.
The Talktua.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm not going to talk shit about her podcast. I might do it one day. Oh, hey. But I also, like, girl.
From what I understand.
Suck some dick, please. Or at least tell us how you do it. Like,
from what I understand, she's actually very charming in person.
I mean, I'm sure she's a sweetheart. She's from Tennessee. I'm kind of a little bit of a bastard, even though I'm from Tennessee. I mean, I'm a literal bastard, but I'm also just in general. But ultimately, we are pretty nice people. We are not nice, but we are kind. Actually, I think that's a better way of putting it. We're not nice. We're kind.
Well, that's more East Coast anyways.
Yeah. I mean, the best example I've heard for the difference between the East and the West is you have a broken tire on the side of the road. A Southerner will come up to you and they might make fun of you a little bit and make you feel like you don't know what you're doing because you couldn't fix your own tire, but they'll teach you how to do it and you'll be on your way. Maybe even spark plug, whatever you need. They'll help you if they know how. If they can, they will. And California, even if it's your friend who knows you in California, they'll drive past, be like, ooh, hope you fix that.
Oh, no.
Call AAA. Or they don't even say anything. They'll be like, I didn't see it.
What are you talking about? They'll film that shit for fucking social media.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, like that's my interpretation. Not everyone. I feel like the people who aren't like too deeply rooted in the city or trying to be the stereotype of the city are actually pretty nice. Like there are some people who have humanity. I like coming here still. Like I wouldn't, if it were that soulless, I wouldn't be here.
Why aren't you living here?
Well, have you seen the rent rates? I
live in Hollywood. I rent.
Okay. Well, that's my first reason. To the heat. I love Tennessee. You're just don't move there though. Stop moving to Nashville. I'm going to fight you guys. I make tourists pay tax. When I go to bars, I'm like, oh, where are you from? They're like, oh, I'm from New York, LA, Miami. Any of the states. I'm like, buy me a drink.
Aren't all those places in the same state?
Very well. Basically, Nashville is now this hybrid. And there are near to none of the local citizens still going out and participating in the culture. So I get called a unicorn, but I'm not a unicorn. I'm a butterfly. As I said earlier, I'm not a unicorn. I don't like being a unicorn. It's not real. Unicorns don't exist, but butterflies do. And if you put a butterfly in a box, they'll die. So you kind of have to let it be what it is.
Maybe you're into butterflies dying.
I'm not. I want to.
No, not you. I mean, people in general.
Well,
maybe
that's gross. But unless you collect them and put them on walls. I did.
Is that what you're into? You want to be collected and put on a wall?
Oh, I like being put on a wall, but I don't know about being collected. I like living a little bit, believe it or not. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but I really like living. Living's fun, you know?
Sometimes.
Oh, you can make the most out of it. Even the parts that aren't fun are fun to live through because you get to be like, hey, I didn't die. It didn't kill me. It didn't completely make me go psychosis insane. You know, it could be worse.
Could. But then again, if you went completely psychosis insane, you may not know you're having a bad time at that point.
That's true. That's true. I hope one day I just slip off into madness. Like when I'm like 50 or 60, become senile and just enjoy tripping.
50 or 60? 50. Fucking 50.
Is that not old?
I'm closer to 50 than I am your age. So.
Oh, you're right. You're not 50.
Not yet.
You know, when you turn 25, your frontal lobe develops.
Mm-hmm.
When you're 50, it like starts dying, right?
Oh, it started dying well before that.
Does alcohol doesn't help?
Oh, it helps. What are you talking about?
My friends.
I will be 50.
Before I'm 30?
No, you'll be 30 barely. Because you were born
2001.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not young anymore.
You will be 30 6 days before I'm 50.
Yeah. 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 I don't want to think about being 30. I'm a teenage girl until I die.
I'm still in my 20s in my brain.
Yes.
My body, when I wake up in the morning, is like, no, you're not, dog.
I'm learning that my body is not going to give me what it used to. Like, I can't go and just take an 8.5-inch dick with no preparation like I was able to do when I was 18. My body doesn't have that elasticity anymore. She needs a little moment. And I tried the other day. I was like, I can just go and do this like I haven't shot in 4 months. I mean, I did it, but without, there were some consequences to it. Thank God he was such a good sport about it. He didn't take it too weird at all. Thankfully, he also had worked for kink.com so much that he'd seen probably everything. And so a tiny bit of blood was not going to be a deal breaker.
How much is a tiny bit?
Just like a sprinkling. You know. Not a sprinkling. That's a really, really weird. Small amount. Yeah, I was like, wait, that's
everywhere.
Just a small amount. Like it was just enough for us to notice that it happened, but not enough to destroy the scene and make it so he couldn't finish with the cream pie. So, I mean, yeah.
And that would turn me on more. Be like, hell yeah.
I have a fetish listed on my FetLife. It might be even the first one listed on there. It's been there for a while. It's called fucking so hard that it counts as impact play. There we go. And so I told him that and make him feel better. And he laughed it off. And so we got back to it and it was fine. It didn't hurt. It's just something to be aware of. It's like, oh, well, I didn't stretch. So make room.
Nothing.
I wish I was young still. I'm young, but like I wish I was like a little bit younger again. I want to do over. I want to go back and restart in 2020.
Literally just said to me, oh, I was 10 when you got into this industry. I want to be young again. Look,
I'm 23. It's like a crisis.
Jesus Christ.
I was 18 when I started doing porn. I didn't get a good start. I didn't get a good kickstart.
You were still shitting yourself when I was 23.
Was I?
I turned 23 in 2004. So,
oh my God, yeah, wow. What was that like? Being 23 in 2004.
It was interesting.
They had like Nokia phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite piece of technology?
Actually, I had a BlackBerry at that point.
I remember Blackberries. Little keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Sprint BlackBerry so I could chirp people. To, the fucking walkie-talkie function.
I think my baby photos, my sisters definitely aren't the case, but like, I was the last generation to not have photos on phones. Like they barely had cameras on phones when I was born, so everything was taken on film. Still, we had to go get film developed, and I remembered that. And I've been craving, a little camera, just a Polaroid, right? No. Well,
Polaroids do film too.
Yeah, I have Polaroid cameras, but that's not the same. They make that fun and modernized. I want the old one. I want to have to go to Walgreens. I want to have to make it awkward, One time I saw a guy at Walgreens, probably when I was in high school, printing off nudes at the Walgreens. Like he had nude photos he had taken on his little tiny little point and shoot camera and was printing them out in public. No shame, just...
No, he wanted people to appreciate his art.
It wasn't art, but it was something.
Whoa, you fucking critic.
Well, I am a critic. And it was like really blurry, honestly. It was like he'd taken him quick.
Maybe that was intentional. How are you to judge his art?
It could be. It could be very, very catered to him and unique to him. And I won't judge that. You're right. Maybe that's
so
just
rude.
His brand, his style. It didn't seem like something I'd see on Brazzers, though. So I wasn't.
Well, that's McDonald's. That is the McDonald's of porn.
It is the McDonald's of porn. Someone out there gets off to that still, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. McDonald's serves billions of burgers a year. People, lots and lots of seed is being spilled to Brazzers.
That's true. That's true.
A lot. Don't get it twisted. Doesn't mean that it's innovative in what it's doing.
No, I mean, I've never really tried to pursue doing any pro porn. I'm sure I could have done it, but it wasn't my goal because it just didn't seem like something that would be beneficial to me and my brand.
What is your goal?
Well, I really enjoyed just being the personality that I've had, which sounds kind of like facetious and egotistical, but just a little bit. And that's okay. I mean, whatever. So what? But my fans enable me, like my little chatterbait boys. They really enjoy the conversations we have. And I don't find it as egotistical when I realize that most of the conversations I'm having are just someone needing comfort, and I'm bringing them a little bit of comfort. I don't make my shows highly pornographic these days. I used to. I got tired of it. I got burnt out. I got irritated, and it started just being bad. But
it stretched out a little more.
Yeah, honestly, I need to learn how to stretch. It's just not easy. Someone else needs to come over and work it. You can pay someone to stretch you, like not sexually. You could do that.
I'm sure.
It's great. I haven't tried it yet, but in theory, I'm going to.
You're just still getting it for free from other people?
They're not doing it good enough. I'm still in pain.
What you pay for?
I go, well, I'm not paying, but I'm paying.
Well, exactly my fucking point. Exactly my point.
Well,
Thank you for just proving me right.
What? So if I give you $20, you're going to stretch my back out right instead of my asshole? Well, actually, no asshole. We've never done anal.
Well, for $20, I will take your anal virginity. I think that's just.
Table.
I feel like that's just a crime. I think I just was like. I feel like you just. I may have just. You just solicited me?
Did I know? No.
If you paid me $20.
$20 is $20. There's nothing to do with this.
I mean, the minute there's money exchanging hands and not.
If we film it, it's fine.
Yeah, I've never had my dick on film.
Well, then we can't do it.
Cool.
Unfortunate.
I'm okay.
Me too. I will be okay.
I will survive with keeping my dick off film.
I mean, I didn't even prep. I've heard there's a lot of extensive preparation that goes in before you actually take a dick. There's a second chamber, I've been told. You have to clean out the second chamber, not just the first. You can't just... No, there's more.
If you're doing it in real life and you get some shit on your dick, you wash it off and go about your day.
Do you? Some guys are...
Well, okay, in my own personal...
Forms of misleading. And people don't know that that's a possibility, even though it's very obvious that everybody shits. You know, they think that, well, surely these girls just wake up and go get dick in their ass. There's no other protocol. They eat pizza the night before, right? No, they starve themselves half the time, baby. I'm not about that life. Gatorade, Pedialyte. You have to take stool stoppers and stool softeners. I mean, it's like a whole routine. No wonder they don't get paid nearly enough for all that routine. Personally,
see, if you do it in real life, sometimes shit happens and you just rinse it off.
Yeah, but there's always going to be shit on your dick forever. No matter how much you wash and rinse, there'll be a particle of poo somewhere on there, just for you to remember, to know.
I sleep well at night knowing that. Wear it like a fucking bed.
So you've given anal, but you haven't done it.
Oh yeah. No, I've definitely stuck my dick in someone's asshole before.
Is that common? Like when girls prefer anal over vaginal sex around here? Or is that not normal?
Well, okay. So the very memorable one where the girl shat on me.
Oh, this is a true story.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Yeah, this is personal life experience of me fucking someone in the ass and be like, she shat, and I went and showered off.
Yeah.
She was a performer, and she was real embarrassed about it. I'm like, girl,
yeah. It's anal.
We're just hooking up. Like, this wasn't like a planned scene. The shower's 5 feet away. Like, I'm not upset at all. And she was just embarrassed about it. I'm like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Like, showered off, give her a cuddle, kiss her on her head. I'm like, do I keep going? Like,
do you want me to put it back in your butt?
Yeah, like.
Did you want to finish pooping and then we can go back?
Yeah, like.
Oh God.
It isn't a big deal.
So did you do more anal after?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I would just be like, no more anal ever again. Sorry, not with you. You can't. No, we can't do that twice. One time in high school, I had a partner, and I was super sick. I just did not feel great. And I guess too much. Anyways, similar situation happened. We weren't doing anal. It was just
you pooped on while he was doing vaginal. Wow. Like right at his chest, or
right? Was going in, I guess, and he was in school to be a nurse, so it worked out well. But I just never had sex with him again. Never ever again. We broke up 4 months later.
Wait, you didn't fuck him for 4 months, and then broke up with him?
Well, yeah, we were in some open relationship that was very okay. It was a very complicated time for me.
4 months, 4 months with no sex, and
he was fucking other people, and so was I.
So what?
I know.
Were you two primaries, or?
Yeah, kind of. But it was this was my first adult relationship. So
all I know is if fucking 30 days has gone by with me not banging my primary, yeah, we're done.
Wow.
We are done.
Well, to be fair, after that, it just kind of really messed with my head around him. And I don't even know if I was really in that relationship for the right reasons. So
what are the wrong reasons?
Well, when you're in it for survival, I was emancipated, living on my own. And I think I was doing it partially because he was just someone that I'd been with for so long already. It made sense.
Trauma bonding.
Oh, I know. I mean, yeah, I was 18, 17 years old, something like that. And so, it just happens to be. And he's a really great guy, honestly.
He's a nurse. Did he pick you up at the hospital?
No, never needed to. I don't even know if he actually went in.
No, I meant initially. Did he meet you at the hospital?
No, actually, he met me in a parking lot.
Of the hospital?
I was skipping school one day.
Okay, that's inappropriate.
Well, it happens.
Well, obviously it happened. Doesn't make it any more appropriate.
Well, he was 18, I was 16.
Was he the school nurse?
No. He was 18. I was 6. He had just graduated, and I was smoking weed with my friends, and we were skipping school, right? And we go to this church parking lot before we go back in to check in for the rest of the day. Because I only skipped a half day. I still wanted to meet some of my classes. I cared a little bit about my education. I mean, I graduated early at 17 with an honors, quota, so I'm not really concerned with that. But anyways, I saw him just sitting in someone's car. I was like, that's a hot guy, like an attractive dude. I was blitzed off my butt. And the guy sitting next to me was like, yeah, that's so-and-so. I'm like, do you have his number? And he did. And so I got his phone number, texted the stranger that I just happened to see sitting next to me in a car that I don't know. And we go on a date the next morning. He picks me up. We go and have like Waffle House or something. And by 6 p.m., he said he was in love with me. We dated for almost a year.
Okay, well, What have we learned from that?
Well, I have a lot of power in the relationship, and I do tend to wear the pants.
Well,
that's not a great lesson, actually. I learned probably just to not commit to people that you're not ready to commit to.
Would you also, the giant red flag is he said he loved you day one.
Oh, well, that too. Most guys do, though. It's a bad that I don't take shock to that. Like, you should be in love with me after like 12 hours. Like,
so are you calling me a freak? I've been
no,
around you I've been around you more than 12 hours. I am not in love with you. I'm sorry, Ivy.
If you spend 12 consistent hours with me, you might like fall in love.
Probably not.
I'm just kidding. No, that's not my goal either.
Well, that's good.
Like I've had a lot of people fall very quickly for me, and I don't know why. Like I asked him, like, why are you in love with me now? And if any guy tells me they love me at this point, like my last partner, I didn't say it back. He was like, why aren't you saying I love you back? I'm like, well, it's been a month. Like, I don't love you yet.
Did you much?
And they would get upset with me that I'm not saying I love you back yet. And I'm like, I don't even want to say I love you after like 6 months. Is that bad? I don't know. It's like we're still dating.
It's bad if you're repressing how you actually feel.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I was repressing much of anything. I think
if you don't feel like you're in love, you shouldn't say it.
Oh, yeah.
But you also
what if I love qualities about them, but I don't love all of them? Yeah, like love is like loving someone unconditionally, right? Like maybe.
Oh, there's no such thing.
Oh well, I have BPD, so it's close enough.
No, there's chemical imbalances that your brain feels like that are near cocaine when you're in love. But
awful. I'm better off alone sometimes. I really think that. But go on.
Well, no, the love chemicals are more addictive than cocaine. But there's no such thing as unconditional love, unless you are wildly mentally ill. Because holy fuck,
I have my head on just enough not to be that bad. Just enough.
For fuck's sake.
A few more knocks to the left, I might not. But
a few more incidents trying to feed your cat. Like, you'll just be like, I'm madly in love with people.
Yeah, like anytime. These rent bills are getting really high suddenly. I'm just kidding. That's terribly toxic, but also not against being terribly toxic at certain points in time. Someone has to do it.
It's
real. And funny enough, guys don't like basic, like boring women. They tend to go after the ones that make them want to die. I don't know why. I do know why, but I don't know why.
For me, I can only speak for myself in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I don't go after basic boring women is because I can't relate to them. I went on a date with this girl a couple of years ago. I've talked about this on there, where she was pleasant enough, she was attractive enough, but she was talking about like her mom is her best friend and her stable family life. And I was just like,
oh, I hate that. Yeah, I get turned off immediately. I'm like, oh, you can't relate to anything I'm about to tell you. Like, I can give you one story, you're going to cry. Like, oh my God, are you okay?
Oh, instead, my stories just felt like they were coming across like it was a novelty to her. Like, oh, this is where I get to dabble on the other side of the fence. This guy's interesting. And just like, oh, yeah, you're got your shit together. You have a
401k and like a lease, or no, it's like a mortgage, like in a car payment.
Well, and it's a self-defeating thing on some respects, because people are like, well, why aren't you dating girls your own age? I'm like, because in your 40s, if you're single,
it's not usually a telltale sign of success.
Ouch, thanks.
Well, I mean, you know it better. Go on, finish your sentence.
I was going to. I was going to finish my sentence, but I just got fucking like. Yeah, you unsuccessful motherfucker.
You tried. You at least put the effort in. You've gotten good stories to tell, I'm sure. You know, plenty of good anal and shit dick.
Yeah. But
you're a trooper.
I am.
You keep trying.
Sometimes.
Don't give up. You're not dead yet. Keep going.
Maybe I am. Maybe this is hell.
Inside doesn't count. You still have to pay taxes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
As I was saying, if you're a woman in your 40s, either you have your shit together so much that like I'm not going to fit into your life.
Man. Yeah.
I don't need a man, or I'm just not going to fit into your life because you're going to be like,
you're not doing what I say.
Well, it's not even doing what I say. Like, I'm a self-employed fucking, scumbag entertainer, and I'm not a wildly successful one.
Well, you're getting there, actually. Like I said, I was recommended to come here by someone very important.
You were recommended by multiple people on that night.
That's true. That's true. Again, look at you being popular.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I'm not unpopular. I'm not saying I'm not fun.
You are fun.
I'm not saying I'm someone you should settle down with.
Oh, God, no. No. Me neither, though. God, no.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Far from relationship material, but people keep trying. And
there's a difference between being 23 and 43.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or on the other spectrum of 43, if you're still a single woman, you're such a shit show that's not where I want to be.
That's fair. Like, you need a supporter, provider, whatever, and you've already been ran through many times. It's fine to be ran through.
I don't give a fuck about it. If you don't take
care of yourself, then it's one thing or another. Like, a mentally ran through, not physically ran through. No. Mentally. You've been emotionally traumatized to a point where you're no longer dateable. Yeah. I'm almost like a 43-year-old woman at this point. And again, people keep trying.
Well, yeah.
Trying.
You still have
like that a public announcement to stop trying. Unless, like, you are ready to invest. You should not be putting in all that stress.
You're 23. You still have that new car smell.
I do have that. Yeah, something has a new car smell, that's for sure. My butthole.
It does. That's really why they're coming around. They're just like, I want to test drive that motherfucker.
It's like the new Tesla, but it's less electric. It's definitely a gas-operated vehicle.
Oh, no, and that's why I date younger. Like, it's just because it's just like...
It's refreshing.
No,
I date older usually.
Well, that's typical.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've definitely dated guys my own age, and my experience with that is they're typically not mature enough to handle the capacity of
their brain's not cooked.
They're not cooked. They're not done cooking, and they're inconsistent. They're very. I mean, they're charming. They want to give you the world, but they don't even know what the world is yet.
Oh, they don't. And
even if they're my age, like men just. To go a little bit slower. They take a little more time to get to those milestones of, that's emotional maturity. Like one acid trip away from understanding basic decency in a human.
Well, it's not even one acid trip away. It's they haven't had enough life experience to understand, to break away from societal norms. Because societal norms say what you do is scandalous or is immoral or blah, blah, blah. And as a younger dude, you're taught like, well, sex for you can be meaningless. Sex with your actual partner has to be sacred and like.
I hate that word, sex sacred.
Oh, I don't believe in it.
Oh, I know. I mean, I guess some sex can be considered sacred.
Fuck no.
People, like if it's your preference to consider it sacred, but
you're just wrong.
You're wrong. No. It's not. It's a physical act. Like animals, they look at cats. Do they think sex is sacred? Does any other species in this planet think sex is sacred?
That's a bad argument.
It's really violent.
That's a bad argument.
That's a bad argument. Why is it a bad argument?
Because no other species fucking flies planes. No other species has a fucking internet.
Because we don't let them. We didn't let them evolve to the point where they could. We killed them before they could have a chance of doing it. Monkeys may have very well could have been like a...
Yeah, when they fucking get there, we can have that discussion.
They won't ever get there. We're not going to let them. We'll kill them before they can do
something. We're letting chimpanzees use tools already. They're fucking spearfishing.
Now we are. But don't you think, like, evolutionary speaking, like way before, modern science, like back when Egyptians, and even before then, maybe.
They're still Egyptians now. I hate to break
it. I'm talking about...
They're having a financial crisis.
I'm thinking about, Cleopatra type Egyptians. Like, history.
Cleopatra was white.
She is not she's not alive. Don't tell me Cleopatra's currently living.
I mean, there's probably some girl named Cleopatra.
Absolutely. I mean, probably several thousand people named Cleopatra.
I don't know how popular of a baby name that is.
No, but porn name.
I don't know many porn stars named Cleopatra.
They should use it.
We're getting a name change right now?
No, not
Cleopatra
Minx. I'm white, but no. I don't believe that would be the best fit, unfortunately. I don't know much about her. I just know that she was Egyptian and that she made the first vibrator with bees in a jar, which is pretty impressive. Or something, not a jar, some sort of containment device. Yeah.
Or bees.
I'm sure it wouldn't be strong enough for me personally. I can ride through a motor bunny session and still be okay.
So what you need is giant Japanese hornets?
I have an iron clit, so probably.
You should see a doctor about that.
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing per se. I just think I have a syndrome.
That you can't be easily stimulated? That's a problem.
I mean, I could be easily stimulated, but most people are just not doing it right. And I can also handle lots.
What do they got to fucking use acid and fucking Brillo pads? Iron fucking clit.
Well, no. A lot of people don't warm up. Like, they don't want to take the time it takes to get someone warmed up with foreplay. So, like, for me, if I don't have foreplay, I'm not going to be super.
What's your ideal foreplay?
I don't know. Massages are great. I like a good back massage. You know, I'm a little gluttonous.
You should pay $20 for that.
I should, but I'm not going to. And I don't always do that as my foreplay. Sometimes I just don't care, and I'd rather you go in while it's dry and it still feels like the most tight hole you could possibly get in. I think it's an ego boost for me, for someone to fuck me before I'm ready, because they're like, "Oh my god, it's so tight." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's not wet."
Like, how unready?
Like I'll just bend over and be like, "All right." It's not very exciting, honestly.
Wow, you're really selling sex on you.
Well, it's better on camera is my thing, I think. Sadly, I perform more on camera. I like fucking for the camera. That turns me on. I'm an exhibitionist. So when there's like, I can't see myself, it's less motivating.
So do you ever fire up cameras just for personal use?
I mean, not really. If I'm going to fuck on camera, I'm probably going to, I don't know. I feel like I want to publish it. Like, I don't really have films. Before I did porn, I did. Yeah, my boyfriends and I would make short little clips for them to keep while I was at work or something, and they wanted to jerk off, and that was fine. It's kind of the gateway into it. But no, I mean, everything I film, I like to publish, I guess. I don't like that. I like the world. No, I like it. I like being out there.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, well, at what price, right?
I don't know what's your rate. Like, what's your
Well, I don't really do a lot of pro booking, so I guess my rate really justifies based on what I think the value of the scene will be personally, because I like to keep and sell forever. I think if someone's going to give me whatever the usual rate for porn is that they're going to make a lot more off of that than that they're giving me.
You'd hope.
It would hope. And they usually do. And so, in my experience...
Why, you auditing people's books? How do you know?
Well, I had one of my scenes that was a trade. It was called a paid trade. They gave me $400 and we did the shoot. It was fine.
400?
Mm-hmm. Because I got to keep some of the content after, which I thought that was fine. Because I'm like, well, it's a trade shoot, so I'm getting the content, but I'm also getting paid to film stuff I'm not really wanting to film.
Okay, tell me more.
Anyways, I found that one of the scenes I filmed ended up on kink.com. And I'm like, wait, I signed releases, but I didn't think about that was the thing that they were going to do with it. And that's fine in theory, because I did want to be on their website, but not under that pretense. And sure, maybe it's under their personal store. Again, that's fine. But it would have been nice to be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to upload this content to kink.com if you're cool with that. Like, or just let you know I'm going to do it. I found out via Googling myself doing a DMCA takedown. And I'm like, wait, I'm on kink.com. Why am I on kink.com?
See, this is why it's important. Pro tip for anyone else out there.
Yeah.
It's important to have in your contracts what platforms things can be distributed to.
I thought they were. I didn't realize that licensing was included on that one. I read it, but I didn't think much about it. I was like, oh, well, they're just going to post it onto their like clips or sell and their... No, they have the exact right to put wherever they feel so inclined. And also the worst part is I didn't even get all the content. Not even all of it. I'm going to fight for it. Trust me. Not fight. I'm going to just reach out and be like, hey, by the way, could you try again? Listen to me. Or we just, I don't know. It's strange. And they're a good person. Like
Are they?
Well, they're not mean. They're not mean.
They're not kind.
Well, I guess not. That wasn't very kind to them, was it? That was very California. I was like, hi, oh my God, it's so great.
I love being inside you. This was a great scene. Bye.
Yeah, I know. And the first part was like, they're submissive. Like, it's not even like you're dominant. Like, is this, it was strange. But it is what it is. Like, I'm on there now. Yay, I'm a Venus girl. Woo. I don't make anything off of that though. Like, you did
it for clout.
I didn't even do it on purpose.
Accidentally did it for clout.
I accidentally did it for the clout that I never received. Yeah, for sure. I guess I've gotten way more audience in that volume since then, but the scene was me giving a guy a blowjob until he had a stroke and then died. And then, yeah.
Did you resuscitate him?
No. His pacemaker failed. He didn't actually die, okay? This is the concept of the scene. But, like, yeah, it was a really fucked up script.
The medical professionals brought him back. I got it.
No, he died. I took his money and gave it to the pool boy and fucked off. Like, that was the script he told me to say. He had, like, specific numbers, too. Like, yeah, it was this exact amount of money that I'm going to take and give to the pool boy, and we're going to go fucking, do whatever. But
Why did you give it to the pool boy?
I don't know. That's what he wanted me to say. That's also why I don't want to do pro porn very much. It's because I don't want them to tell me what to say. I don't want them to do my makeup for me. I don't want them to tell me to take my nose ring out. Like, there are regulations.
Oh, shit. I forgot to tell you to take your nose ring out.
Oh, yeah. Oops. So I can't flip it up either because I have a deviated septum. So sorry.
Oh, no. Well, it was a fun episode.
Yeah. Oh, well. I can't take tattoos off either, unfortunately.
Oh, you can. You just have to be motivated.
You will. I'm very invested. It
A
costs
knife,
money.
20 minutes, we can get that motherfucker off.
Oh, God. I have another story. I had a friend who used to be a trainer. He trained other people subs for them. And one time in particular, he was given a sub that had a tattoo on her arm. And she was obsessed with her tattoo. She wouldn't stop playing with her tattoo. And this is like pretty hardcore protocol BDSM, like in like the 90s, 80s. Like this is not recent. And so he called the person who sent her in for training and told him, like, hey, if she doesn't stop messing with this tattoo, I'm going to have to do some drastic measures. And the owner in this scenario, in this heavy BDSM dynamic, said, do what you need to do. And he told her what was going to happen. It's like, if you don't stop interfering with your training and messing with that tattoo, I'm going to cut it off. He cut the tattoo off her arm. Like, this is a real story. He cut the tattoo off of her arm and put her in a room and gave her a panic button. So whenever she wanted to have contact with him again, she could, because that's pretty traumatic to do to somebody, especially in a BDSM setting. And that's how deep sometimes BDSM can go. And a lot of people don't know that it gets that deep sometimes, but it does. And that's why I'm like, I have limits. I have boundaries.
Did you frame it?
I don't know. It was like a stained glass window, apparently. The tattoo is of a stained glass window of some sort.
Yeah, you definitely drive that motherfucker and frame it. If you're going to take it,
I could ask him one day.
You really should put the trophy up.
I hope he did. He wasn't like, he didn't enjoy doing that though. He told me like he did not and get off to that. It wasn't pleasurable for him to cut off the tattoo from her body. It was strictly to prove a point of saying he was going to do something, and so therefore he did it.
Well, yeah, and then you definitely have to frame the trophy. So every time she comes back, she sees the proof.
That's true. Yeah, and it wasn't her dom either. It was just like someone who was training her. But funny thing is, she pressed that button about 3 days later and apologized to him for being disruptive for her training. She was apologetic. It's like, that's fucked up. I don't even know if that's really BDSM or if that's just downright abuse, but that's some stories.
Yeah, it's probably abuse.
It is, but like, again, it's like a weird consent area. Like if you do, it's called total power exchange, TPE. You technically can, in some certain clauses, consent to such extremities. I would never do that, and I would never accept an arrangement like that. I would never want a contract, an arrangement like that, either submissive or dominant. Neither, never.
But also, did she really know what she was signing up for when she signed that contract?
No idea. I mean, I guess like she did, but I mean, this is just a story I heard from the person who did it. So,
I mean, if this happened in the 80s or 90s, that woman is probably in her 50s or 60s right now.
Yeah.
She's old by your book.
Yeah, she's old by my book. Yeah, she is. I wonder what her life is like after that. Like, does she still stay with that person who sent her there for training to...
No, statistically, no.
Statistically speaking.
How many people's relationships last that long?
That's fair. Oh, my great-grandparents are still together.
Yeah.
That's 70 years.
That's completely a different time and generation. Those
they met
people
at church and they stayed stuck with it.
Exactly.
He built her 3 houses, and I'm determined to find a man that will give me the equivalent. And now that I've done porn, it'll be a lot harder, but I'm still determined to find that guy.
Build you 3 houses?
Or buy me 3 houses. Or
Go
give me
fucking Amish.
Good point. I don't live too far from those Amish counties in Tennessee.
Yeah. That motherfucker will build you a house.
Oh, they do a great job, too.
Build you some fancy furniture, too.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go marry an Amish man, turn Amish. Well, if this all fails, that's my goal. That's my plan after this.
Why are you going to wait till it fails?
Well, I don't want to do it yet. You know how much you have to commit to being Amish?
Honestly, fucking going to marry into the Amish community is the best. They couldn't have seen your scenes. They're not on the internet. They could never know you did porn.
I have a big tattoo, but I guess they'll never see it because I wear long dresses.
Would you have a tattoo that says, I do porn?
No, I guess not. No.
Yeah, the Amish will never know. Oh my God, I'm going to start a halfway house of reformed porn girls to Amish gateway.
Amish wife. Yeah, because they actually, like, they used to paint their doors blue to look for women, like, saying, like, they need new wives or husbands or seeking. So if there's, like, a not wed woman, unwed woman, unmarried woman in the house, the door will be painted blue. And men can just come up and, like, introduce themselves, like, I am looking to marry the woman in this house.
Oh, yeah. No.
Culture.
That is how I'm going to, people want to get out of the industry and they're afraid of the
move into an Amish county and put a blue.
Oh, no. I'm just going to be facilitating that. That's my new gig. You're going to pay me to.
Pimping?
No.
Amish pimping?
It's matchmaking.
Oh, okay. Matchmaking. You're going to go befriend a bunch of Amish.
Well, I'll find a middleman on that.
Oh, okay. So we're stock trading at this point. Like, okay.
We're helping people exit the industry how they want to exit.
Into farm homesteads and work laborious, intensive hours in the heat.
Hey, man, it's not the life for me, but I'm happy to help people.
Anal.
You don't know. You do not know that.
I can only imagine that it hurts. Butt plugs hurt, so why wouldn't anal hurt?
Well, because maybe you'll be turned on and lubricated.
Probably doing it wrong, yeah.
Probably.
I mean, if I can't even do a butt plug right, then
Well,
I need to get like not a doctor, like, you know, like I need to go hire a holistic trainer. I need a whole trainer, like a holistic whole trainer to like meditate my butthole open just so I can do this for this industry. Like I need to give you guys my butthole. I'm just not ready. I'm so tight.
no, you should give someone that you like in real life your butthole. And
Well,
then
the guys I'd like in real life won't fit. I need to find someone that'll fit first.
I'm sure it'll fit if you do it properly.
Anything's possible with Astroglide. I know I'm not sponsored. Actually, I hate Astroglides. It's one of my least favorite lubricants.
Why would you bring it up? You're just like,
Because it rhymed a little bit, you know.
it did roll off
It
the
had a
tongue.
little bit of a vibe to it, but it's not a vibe. I'm not advertising that. Find something better. There's other lubes out there. That's like my least favorite one. When I worked at an adult toy store before I went full time with porn, that was like, if you bought Astroglide against my recommendations, I would look at you with the most disgust I possibly could give. Because I told you that's the worst choice, and you still picked it. If it's your brand, it's your brand, but you can go to Walgreens. There's a Walgreens right next door. You don't need to inconvenience me buying Astroglide here. There are so many better choices.
Oh, heaven forbid they ask you to do your fucking job.
Well, I loved my job. I would talk to every single customer that walked in, if anything, too much. Like, I've never been to a sex shop and people talk to me the way that I used to talk to my customers. They barely are informed of the product. I was passionate about it because I was, again, just baby starting on OnlyFans, barely knew what I was doing, and working at an adult toy store just to like be able to have a full, you know, my regular life is porn related and my porn life is porn related. And I don't know, I loved the job. It was fun. I had to quit because this was taking up too much of my time though. It was like, either do you want to be a retail salesperson or do you want to do porn? Your chances now, pick. And I was 19 and I was terrified. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Like, there's no way. And I'm doing better than ever the older I get. I thought when I turned 20, my career was going to be over.
Oh, it is.
I know.
That's why you're here. That's why you're doing the show.
Oh, is this like the telltale sign of all is going wrong?
Oh, yeah. This is the porno graveyard.
Well, it was a fun run while I had it. I knew it was coming.
This is why everyone recommended you come here.
They're like,
career's over.
You're cooked. You're cooked.
They bring you here so I can tell you to your face.
Did you know that you have 30 minutes? You have 30 minutes. You're done.
None of your friends have the balls to say it to your face. That's why they send you to me, so I can tell you.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I would believe that. I would actually partially believe you. I'm like, oh no, it's the end of the world. Yeah, I'm often the problem.
I kind of sense that about you, actually.
Well, I try not to be problematic, but I am often a problem. Like, I don't do anything that I think is against like convent code of conduct, but I might ruffle some people's feathers just by simply being very unapologetic. I don't have a lot to be sorry for.
So it's unintentional, but it still happens.
I would say it's not unintentional. It's just not malicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not doing it to be a negative Nancy. I mean, well, maybe a little bit negative if necessary. I'm here for contrast, is I like what I think. I'm here just to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. I've always kind of been that way. I like being shock and awe, but not so scary. You know, I like doing things that no one really thinks about. Like, I did a photo shoot where I just poured a can of peas down my underwear. It was like plastic underwear, and I peed my pants, is what I think I put it as. Or I peed my panties, but it was peas. And I stomped on them. And that was that. And I don't
Were they room temperature?
Yeah. It was canned peas.
Well, you can refrigerate cans.
Yeah, you could, but I didn't.
Why not?
Well, I didn't want cold peas going.
Why not?
Because it's cold. I'm not into that. That's cold. Have you ever stuck your dick in a can of cold peas?
No, I've never stuck my dick in a can in any peas.
Well, then you don't understand what it feels
I have
like.
never actually stuck my dick in anything that has been canned.
Well, it's kind of risky. Canned goods have like a sharp rim. You know, you might.
I'm not that girthy. I'm not so girthy that I'm worried about the sides
They
of.
make them big these days, though. You have Girth Master. He wouldn't fit in a can of peas, that's for sure.
Yeah, I am not hung like Girthmaster. I'm very happy to not be hung like Girthmaster.
I also am happy that you're not hung like Girth Master, that most people aren't, because that's something that I just don't think I can achieve. Maybe one day.
I don't think you'll ever have a dick as big as Girthmaster's.
I don't want one that big. I took Rodrigo Amore.
Oh, no, I meant
by
just
7. That was huge.
Yours.
Oh, no, I could.
No, not without purchase. Not purchasing it, just having one.
Mentally.
Growing it.
Mentally. I have a phantom dick.
I mean, you could definitely imagine whatever you want.
Like I have a big dick like that. Like I walk around swinging it between my knees.
Just displacing things with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I use a strap on, I feel like I have a penis. And I come. I have like a faux orgasm. Like, it's strange. I love it. I don't get to do it very much. Not a lot of girls are actually into filming girl content unless they're getting paid by professional companies. Something I've learned recently. They're not really gay. They're not that gay, at least. They're not like gay enough to just go and, for their own pursuit, film girl content. They will often choose the boy over the girl any day. The girl's like, if I have to, I'll eat some pussy.
Well,
I, on the other hand,
well, I also feel like boy-girl content sells better.
no, oh God. No, I'm constantly begging. I'm getting requested for girl. And historically speaking, on my cam shows, like girl is always better. Always. The more girls, the merrier. It's the boy girls that are indifferent because they get jealous.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but that's a cam audience. That's
well,
not a
and also
mainstream.
my mainstream. Like, yeah, people buy my boy girl content, but I don't have enough girl to really market it, so people beg for it. So when I do have a girl scene, that sells really well, unless it's anal for some reason. I told them they were never going to get it, and then I gave it to them, and now they're like, and so I don't know. In the beginning, a lot of it sold, and then it just stops selling because I don't do anal enough. It's not something people seek after for me, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I like people knowing me for being a fetishist. I do fetish, lots of it, and I get fucked. I do. I just think
Proud of you.
it's important, to have a balance between the two. I think I get fucked to promote my fetish work.
What is your favorite fetish in real life?
Well, I only have one true fetish because a fetish to me is something that you need to get off. Like you won't really get off.
Okay, then what do you need to get off?
Okay, well, and a kink is something you like, but I need breath play. Like I need choking. I have to be choked. If I'm not choked, I'm not content. It's not good enough. I don't come as hard. I've tested it. Like I've had sex without choking, and it's okay. It's good. It's a good time. Even no matter it doesn't matter how big your dick is. Doesn't matter anything. You can just. If you choke me right, it's good. I can come from just choking alone. I don't even need to get penetrated. I just need to choke. A good one. And a good knowing how to do it right. And in my personal life, because you can't really do this anywhere else, I'd like to pass out. That's always my goal. It doesn't happen often, but occasionally I do get choked to the point of passing out. I actually almost got banned on OnlyFans 2 weeks ago for filming a custom of me choking myself out with a belt. I didn't think about it being against TOS. I thought, well, because I'm happy and smiling, that's okay. So I nearly lost my account to that. I also found out that the person who purchased that video was a woman, a cis woman, not a trans girl. I have a lot of trans girls who follow me, so I thought surely it was a guy that bought the video. And so I was yelling at the customer, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to lose my account over this. Like, like I'm freaking out. I don't want to give you your content, but like, I can't give you the content you paid for because it was nice, like pretty decently priced custom video. And then we're on Snapchat talking about it. And she's like, I feel ashamed for even liking this. Like, I'm like, my boyfriend didn't like it, that I was into it, and so we broke up. And I'm like, wait, boyfriend? You're a girl? She's like, are you surprised? I'm like, yeah, actually, it's pretty fucking surprising. I have a cis woman buying a custom video that almost got me banned off of OnlyFans. And it's fine. I mean, it was I was less mad when I found out it was a girl for some reason. I was like, oh, I get it. Because I'm into this too. And there's not a lot of content of people out here doing breath play like that because it's not really allowed. I have a video on Pornhub with me doing it, and it's fine. It's there. But yeah, OnlyFans was not kosher with me using breath play in that way.
So what kind of belts are you using?
It was just a belt that had like tons of notches, but I don't actually lock it off. I never lock the belt off when I do solo breath play for obvious reasons. I'm not trying to kill myself.
You're not trying to end up like the lead singer of NXS?
It's a very common thing to die from in terms of fetishes, autoerotic asphyxiation, and I'm not for hanging myself. I don't get off to like the hanging from the ceiling bit. I get off to the actual restriction of blood flow. That's my thing. I like the buzzy sensation that comes with it if you do it safely and right. You never push in the middle.
Well, yeah, you don't want to crush someone's
windpipe. You should still be able to breathe.
Right.
Actually.
It's a blood choke, not a...
Yeah, it's not meant to cause, like, and you can hold your breath. You can have some breath restriction, but you should never be able to not breathe. You should always be able to breathe a little bit if you're doing it right.
Well, yeah, no, just on the sides.
Yeah, exactly, on the sides. You're supposed to do it that way.
Yeah, I know. I got big hands. I do it.
Yeah, and if you have small hands, just use two and use your thumbs and push there. Or, like, just lift your hand. I always, like, make, like, a U shape, maybe, so that I don't put any weight on here. Yeah, you got John chompers. I know.
I've choked a girl or two in my day, so
of course, look at the tattoos you got in your body. Of course, you've choked a few girls in your day. You look like you choke girls in your day in a good way.
Wow,
bad. You look
like
you do kinky shit in bed.
No, I'm fairly vanilla. That's just one of the things I do.
Well, if that's considered fairly vanilla, then I guess maybe I misconstrued what I consider kinky. Because, I mean, I don't know, maybe not. I'm still pretty kinky regardless. Like, who else is into saran wrap and fetish? Or not fetish, but rope. Like, I do a lot of rope bondage.
I don't know. I know people that are into edge play and some real,
Like, edge play is, how do you define edge play? Because there's different types of edge play. There's, like, edging. Like
No, I'm done blades.
Oh, edge as in, like, there's also edge of, like, pushing your limits.
Well, edging and edge play are...
edge, I guess, okay, edge play is specifically considered knife play in your book. I just call it knife play. But edge play to me is like pushing someone to their brink and limit, not just with orgasm. Edging is like trying to get you to come but not come. And then edge is like, okay, well, I, as a dom who has power over you, I'm going to have you do something you don't want to do. And you're not going to like it, and you're going to do it anyways. And that's frustrating for some people. But if you give that type of consent to somebody, they have the ability to do so. So you signed up for it. And you can say no.
Yeah, don't sign up for that.
Don't sign up for that if you don't want to do it.
Right.
But I mean, if there are people who will do, like, there are some kinks that I would only do for certain people. I'm not really into it otherwise. Like, I have one scene I haven't released just because I'm not sure how people will react to it. Because it's not something that I don't really want to do that again. I don't really know them for doing it.
So what's the kink?
I don't want to say.
Aw. I'm fucking curious.
Well, it's nothing bad. I had some. Okay, I'll say.
None of it's bad.
I peed on someone, right? It's one thing for me to pee on someone, but it's another thing for me to be peed on.
Okay.
I let someone pee on me, but it's because it was a very special case scenario. I'd never done it. It was a nice hotel room. It was a very, nice guy. We'd already had a really good scene. We went out to dinner and had a drink, and I was like, this shower has golden decor and emblem on it. It's a golden shower.
Fucking a Trump property?
No. It was like the Tommy or something.
I was fucking around.
Yeah. But there was like gold, like emblems in the shower. And I was like, it's just like the perfect place if I were ever to do a piss thing where I get pissed on to do it. Because it's bougie, it's nice, it's classy, and it's a nice person. But I haven't released it yet. So maybe.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like I can't go back from that. I didn't get it. Like, he only pissed like on my chest and down, right? Like, it wasn't like he peed in my mouth. I was like, it wasn't.
What's wrong with someone peeing in your mouth?
Just not there yet. Like, see, I'm kinky, but I'm not that kinky. I've had someone tell me that I'm not really that kinky because I don't do piss fetishes, or that I don't do, like, I don't swallow. I've never swallowed. I don't know. I swallowed when I was like in dating.
You don't swallow ejaculate?
No, I don't swallow cum. I've never swallowed cum in a scene. Not once.
Real life.
I stopped doing that in high school. I had one guy have really bad tasting cum and made me throw up almost, and so I just never did it again. Because now I think of it like a bad whiskey. Like, I had drank so much whiskey that I got hungover so bad I just couldn't drink it ever again.
You poor child.
I know. So same thing with cum. Every now and again, cum gets in my mouth, and Lexi's giving me shit for it because I did a scene. I spit the cum back out. She's like, "You're not supposed to spit it out. You just swallow and take it." And I'm like, we did a scene recently, and we were talking about who was going to take the cream pie, or how we're going to finish it. Because we've done a few threesomes. It's like our third threesome on camera.
Yeah, I saw on socials you've been getting some threesomes this trip.
Oh god, yeah, it's all I'm getting. Girls don't. Like, I tell you, girls are not really that gay, and so I've been reaching out to the girls I want to work with, and like, yeah, but it needs to be a threesome. Like, I can't sell a girl scene. Like, is it that you can't sell a girl scene, or you don't want to share the spotlight with someone long enough to post a girl scene? Controversial opinion. I'm not saying that everyone that doesn't want to do girl is that way, but I think it's interesting that there always has to be a MFF threesome. And I get it when you work with a couple. I'm signing up to do a threesome when I go approach a couple or a couple approaches me. I understand. But I mean, I've also had girls be like, I want to shoot a threesome, but I want there to be like 5 minutes of girl content that I'm going to sell differently. And that's fine too. But it's just like, why don't you do 2 scenes? Like, you can do a girl scene, then we do a threesome. We don't need to just shove in a 5-minute girl moment in a scene and then clip it out and have that as something you market on Reddit or something, which, again, good for the brand. Interesting concept. I just think that if you're going to eat pussy, you better be about it. I don't like the fake gay. I've worked with a couple models who have straight up told me, like, I'm gay for pay. I don't even like eating pussy. Like, I'm not into women. I just do it for the money. And that's fine. But as a bisexual woman who grew up in the South and had to fight for the right to just be accepted as a queer woman, it's a little frustrating because I came here to eat box and you're telling me I'm like, you're not into it. And I don't really feel comfortable, doing oral sex on a girl who's not interested in girls because it feels kind of wrong. Like, they're not into it. You could tell they're not into it. Yet I'm doing it because they want money. And that doesn't make me feel very good. I don't want to eat someone out that doesn't want me to eat them out, even for money. So why are we in this situation? Why do we have so many people who are not gay doing gay things?
Not everyone's ecstatic about their job.
Well, that's fair.
That's all aspects of life. How many people are doing jobs that they're not?
If you're booking yourself, then why are you booking yourself for so many girl scenes?
Because you need money.
You can get fucked. You could do solo. There's fuck machines and dildos a dozen. There's so many ways.
A girl scene's definitely gonna be better than a.
No, yeah, usually, and that's the thing. But then they say they can't market a girl scene; they need threesomes.
Yeah, but they can't market a fucking solo scene.
That's a marketing issue. It's not a me issue. It's not that. I feel like at that point you're just not good at marketing. If you can't,
they might not be.
That's fine.
Why are they not okay with going with the path of least resistance?
That's true too. I don't know, and I'm just trying to cater to everybody.
That's your mistake.
Well, that is my mistake. That is true. I'm trying to cater to my fans to the best of my ability. And I've done that from the beginning. I've actually done a lot of content that I probably would never have done if it hadn't have been for just people saying, well, if you can do this, why don't you do that? Why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, you're right. Why am I not doing that?
And why are you not releasing that P video?
Well, because they don't know I did that yet. No one knows. Now you know. They know now. Now you know. I've been pissed on. And maybe one day you'll see it. It's not a bad video. It's actually really great.
Then why are you not releasing it?
Honestly, I think it really boils down to I just haven't had time to edit. And I haven't really... I've been wanting to gatekeep myself a little bit. I've been frustrated. 5 years of doing this, and I haven't gotten exactly what I wanted from it. And I didn't really expect much of anything, and I've gotten more than I anticipated.
What did you expect?
I expected not to be living paycheck to paycheck still at this point. I thought after 5 years that maybe I would have a little bit more. Maybe it's me. That's a flaw of me. Maybe it's just because I don't know how to save money. But I don't like to think that I'm overly crazy either. So I don't know. I just thought it'd be a little bit easier by now, at least to maintain everything. And it is. Like, to be fair, you do it over and over again. It does get simpler. You don't have to think as much when you're going to a shoot or booking. It's not as much anxiety involved. You get better at it over time. And, I also like to remember, I read this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And for me...
Oh, you know how to read?
Oh, I know, right? Believe it or not, I like to read. I read relatively often these days, more so than I used to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
You're good. And here's something he says about, how 32 degrees is the melting point of an ice cube. I could just be sitting at 30 degrees, almost there, basically about to melt, and being very frustrated at the fact that it's not 32 degrees yet. I don't even know the temperature. I don't know what's going on. I know that I am trying, and I'm putting in the work, and I'm doing everything that looks right, and people are seeing that I'm doing it, and they're saying I'm doing it right. They're shocked that I don't have the melting point yet.
Don't live in fucking Nashville. That's
the big catch. I know.
Don't live in fucking Nashville. How much work are you missing out on
by living in Nashville?
Yeah.
All of it. But I have one reason why. My grandmother is old and sick, and so until she's gone, I don't feel comfortable leaving.
Smother her already.
I wish I could move her out here with me. If I could, I would.
Just take a pillow.
Oh. Well, it's kind of bad for the gene pool because my mom's already gone. Now her, I don't.
She's not having more kids.
No, she's done. She's
right. So she's done her part. You're here.
I'm not having.
But you're not having kids. So why do you care what happens to the gene pool?
Well, I guess I just like her. I love my Nana. She's a good woman.
Well, that's
cool. She's a little emotionally all over the place, but she's a good woman. She supports my career, and that's one thing I never thought I'd get from my family. Better supports my career than any guy I've dated. Funny enough. The entirety of my family supports my job better than any guy I've ever dated.
Well, that's good that your family's not thinking about wanting to fuck you and jealous about it.
I think they kind of knew I was going to be destined for something pretty unpredictable. And with how sexually driven I was in high school, it's not shocking that, she's doing porn. Okay, well, we caught her watching so much porn, so it's really not that unbelievable. If anything, my grandmother had an easier time accepting that I did porn than she did accepting that I was polyamorous. She didn't care that I was polyamorous until I started dating married couples. And then it bothered her. She was like, that one's a doozy. I don't like it. And I don't blame her. And it wasn't out of malicious. I did well with the couples that I dated. I just don't like it anymore. And it never had a bad breakup. It just was never a compatible situation.
Well, then don't do it.
I don't. I need too much.
So move Nana to a crooked home out here.
She won't. My whole family's planted in that state. So
then there's other people to take care of her.
Of course there are, but
then just fucking move.
No,
who are you living life for?
That's a very fair fucking point. My cat.
Your cat will definitely move. Your cat gets no choice of where it lives.
Well, then maybe you should send me some recommendations after the show of these are apartments that don't cost you $5,000 a month. Because the average rent in LA is $3,000. Or roommate situations. I just will never live in a model house.
You could live in this building for a little over $3,000.
A little over though. I'm not. That's still.
Yes. Do you not have an LLC set up?
Yeah, I do. Well, okay, not yet. I was told by my CPA that I wasn't ready for that. That, believe it or not, I'm not that rich. I am rich in my heart.
Your CPA is fucking lying to you. No matter how fucking broke or rich you are, you should definitely be having a fucking LLC to fucking write shit off. Because guess what? Yeah, you could be paying $3,000 a month in rent living here, but
Don't you have to make like a good $9,000 a month to qualify? Like 3 times the rent is what they want. If you're only making like $5,000, you're not making 3 times your rent to qualify.
someone co-sign.
Okay, well, that's fair. Get a nice rich fan. Hey, fans out there, you want to co-sign for my LA apartment?
Tell Lexi to be
Oh,
honest.
wait, no, sugar daddy, buy me an LA apartment so I don't have to do this. I could have 2 homes. I want my Nashville home because I don't want to leave Nashville, and I want an LA home. Serious offers only.
But
No
you could very easily be making that $9,000 a month if you were here shooting all the fucking time.
Yeah, but then get back to that problem we had before. If I have to change who I am and everything that I do to conform to that, or else I could just shoot content on my own. I have to do all of the work. So it's a dual-edged sword. Like, I am a one-man marching band. I do my own editing. I do my own messaging. I've never had an agent. I've never had a management company. I've never had help. I don't.
Well, hire some help.
I know. Well, you get to have extra money for that, and I don't like spending money on anything that I could do myself, and I could do everything. So it's really frustrating.
Yeah, but
to really
what's your time
power.
worth?
Oh, well, that's the hard part. Is I work sometimes 12 hours a day or more.
Right, but if you were filming the scene, like filming a scene is something that you cannot replace with someone else.
No.
You have to be in the scene.
Yes, absolutely. And so I go in bulk. Sometimes when I come out here, I'll shoot anywhere for 2 to 3 scenes a day. And sometimes those scenes I'll shoot like 3 at the scene.
Right, but if you were doing that when you lived out here.
Oh yeah, I would never have a problem, I guess.
Right.
But then you run out of people. And the politics in porn are crazy.
No.
You're like, oh, you can't work with that guy because they did that one time like 5 years ago and we don't like him. And no one forgot. Like the veterans will remember. And then they'll look at you like, oh, you worked with that person. I don't like them. I stopped liking them because of something completely irrelevant to this industry a long time ago. And so it's just so much conflict. I like being away from it. I like being able to come by and dip my toes in the water for a month and then leave because, I don't have to sit here and live with it. I can like escape. I don't have to get to know anyone too well or to risk,
See,
having to change.
that
I don't want to change. I want to be a Southern girl. I want to live in Tennessee.
That is, I think you just nailed it. I don't want to get to know anyone too well.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
Oh, if you get to know me, then like you have the ability to hurt me. And I don't like people getting that close. I like people to be just close enough to think they know me and then to leave me alone. And that often is the case. People have a lot of parasocial concepts around me. I know so many people that I barely know. They're like, oh my God, I love Ivy. She's so great. We're just great friends. And I'm like, you could call on me and I'd answer yes, but like, I don't know you. Anyone could call me and I'd probably answer. I had my ex, who's a terrible person, and his current girlfriend called me at 2 a.m. like asking me about my opinion on him. And I let her come to my house. I fed her drinks and gave her a good experience. It was really strange. So, I mean, if I'll answer the guy who I absolutely hate's current girlfriend and give her hospitality, I'm not knowing her at all. Don't you think I'll do it for anybody?
No, you want to keep her happy so he stays with her and doesn't come sniffing around you again.
Oh, no, I destroyed that. I ruined his... I killed his mental health like he killed mine. He fucked with me right before my first nomination. I was going to the award ceremony, and the day I left, he goes and have sex with like a bunch of other women. It's fine. I don't care if you tell me. Just tell me you're going to go, fuck around. That's fine. Again, poly, cool with that. It's the obvious deceit and lying and intention behind doing that action. And it really messed up my head. He did it again after I don't know why. That was a whole thing. And so a year or 2 later, when she calls me and has this story about him being a terrible human being, I was like, I can help her get out and he'll lose something else. He ended up quitting his job because of me. A different story, but it's great.
What job did he quit?
He was like a bartender or something.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. But Nashville bartenders make 6 figures.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a well-paying job, but it's not like...
A respected job.
I'm not saying...
I did not realize...
are you trying to get me into fucking shit? Talking shit about bartenders? Okay. What are you trying to do to me?
Bartenders are the biggest players in the game, if you think about it. Like, I did not know this until I dated him. I was like, oh, wait, all bartenders are players for the most part. They have pussy delivered to them on a pedestal, and they're tipsy and like, I want to fuck. I've given so many bartenders my number. I've banged many bartenders. It's really not hard to do. They're easy. So easy. Yeah. They're not bad. Like, their job is respectable. But they're bad. They're bad. Not all, but some, like many. Not all men, not all bartenders, whatever. Even the females are terrible.
Oh, no. The females...
It's not a sex thing. It's totally just like, ooh.
The females are... I have a lot of respect for female bartenders. They got to put up with a lot of garbage and a lot of shit. But there's definitely a hustle there, too, of like...
Absolutely.
They know, like...
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Dudes are coming there and... It's gross because they're like, oh, this girl's a captive audience and it's her job to be fucking friendly to me.
Oh, yeah.
So they, put that fucking weird energy out there.
Maybe if I weren't doing porn, I'd be a bartender in
You
Nashville.
could do both.
Do both. I don't have an ABC license, but I can get one.
I'd hope so.
It wouldn't be that hard.
I don't know.
I mean, you just have to learn all the alcohols and what they do. I mean, they get you drunk, but they're like
they all convert to ethanol in your body and get you drunk.
Ethanol. Oh, I did not realize. Like gas? It's like when I think of ethanol, I think like propane accessories.
I now have to Google what alcohol converts to in your body.
I know it dehydrates you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the main thing. It makes you go, ooh, no water.
Yeah, it converts to Jesus Christ.
There's not going to be a simple answer. They want you to keep drinking.
No.
If you knew, you wouldn't want it.
Okay, I can't pronounce that.
I might want it more. It's a big word.
It is a big word. It's too big for me at the moment.
Well,
there's been a bunch of whiskey.
You got to stretch.
My brain?
Yeah.
I gotta stretch my brain? I don't want to stretch my brain.
You could read that big old word. I believe in you.
I'm here. I hope you believe in me. I do exist.
I
let you into the apartment. I'm recording this.
It could be hallucinating. I wouldn't put it past me. Like I said, I do want to go senile at 50. So maybe I just hit the bay early.
Yes, I'm your imaginary friend.
I've had a few. You're not too bad. No, I'll have to keep.
Wow. I don't even rank top 10 imaginary friends.
I didn't say that.
You're not too bad. You're okay. You're not F tier, but you're okay.
Is it S tier? That's like the best tier?
Yeah.
This is F tier. Like F is the bad one.
Correct.
Yeah, you're S. Well, you're at least like B tier.
Wow.
At least. You'll be A tier if you recommend me some really good cocktail lounges to go to. Maybe S tier if you have like a good recommendation. Like
I took you to a good. Well, I didn't.
Okay, that was a good one, but like I've been there before without you. We actually came there and we're hoping you were going to show up because we wanted you to come and you were like busy or something. So we didn't get to see you. The one time I did get to go.
Were you disappointed that I wasn't there?
I mean, now that I know you a bit, yeah.
You're retroactively disappointed?
Yeah, I'm like, you should have showed up. You should have been there. That would have been cool. We could have done this sooner. We could have been on round 2. But,
Or you could have cut me out of your life already.
Well, I'm not that kind of girly. I tend to beat the horse until it's dead.
No one's beat me to death yet.
Well, it's not the goal typically. I kind of like to keep it to an even, nice bruising, Nothing too intense, but enough to make sure that you don't forget tomorrow.
Well, seeing as some of Lexi's friends want to see me dead, so.
Well, we can't all be winners. I definitely had that moment where I wasn't her favorite friend. And it's one of those things. You can't always be somebody's favorite forever. And you just have to accept if you love each other, it'll work out eventually or it won't. And that's okay. We're adults.
Yeah, didn't love her.
Yeah, well, don't fall in love. It's a bad idea. As someone who's in love with her, I don't recommend it. It's really hard.
I was never going to be in love with her.
And I mean, it's not hard, but like, just imagine being in love with one of the most desirable women in the world. Having a friendship with even someone like that's pretty crazy. Because I didn't know who she was for about 6 months. She came to my house and was there to shoot a scene with someone in Tennessee. And she opened the door and I was like, "Oh, hey, darling, how are you doing?" With my accent. Because sometimes I don't exaggerate my accent because I want people to respect me. And I don't want them to think that I'm a stupid country girl. Other times I'm comfortable enough to show my accent. And often when I'm drinking, it comes out more. Or just when I'm home alone or talking to family, whatever. But she's at my house now. And so I open the door and I'm country. She was so confused. I mean, she still to this day was like, "I didn't know who you were. Like, I thought you had just switched up on me. Like, you were lying to me about who you were. And then you open the door and you're country." And it was what it was. And so, again, I spent like the first 6 months not knowing who she was and also not thinking that she liked me at all. I thought I was like someone she tolerated just because we had mutual friends and it's convenient that I lived in the same state as her at the time. So maybe like that was why we were friends. And then she was like, "You're like one of my favorite people." I'm like, "What?" "I'm one of your what?" "You mean you actually like me as a person? Like you're not bothered by me? I'm not annoying?" I've obviously learned that now because I've spent so much time with her. Every time I come to California, just about, I'm with her the majority of it. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. She's definitely one of the most genuine people I've probably gotten to know from LA. And she's not from here, but she's here. So this is
we're not talking about Lexi, not the person who doesn't like me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there's a bad segue there at some point. So
no. Obviously,
no. Lexi's great. Like,
we love her to death. And again, that's why we're here today, because she was like, "You need to do the show," and other people too. But she was obviously my most prominent influence because I listened to her. I think that she knows better than I probably on some of the stuff. Like, she's definitely got me to the point of where I am now in terms of like just accepting that I'm going to fuck people I don't know.
You are.
Well, I didn't think about that in the beginning. I came to LA for the first time and I got my clear pass for the month because I was going to be here for about a month that time. And I had like one scene booked and that scene got canceled for no good reason and very frustrating. The guy like blocked me after. It was really strange because I was like, hey, that was a little bit rude. Didn't apologize either. But anyways, that is fine because he's problematic now anyway. Like, I love it when that happens too. When someone that I lost an opportunity with ends up being completely...
Shows the true colors and you're like, oh, well, I dodged a bullet there.
I didn't even lose. Yeah. But yeah, I was frustrated. I was like, how am I going to get work? I don't know anybody. So I reached out to the 5 people that I did know and they weren't getting back to me. And she looked at me and she said, you're going to have to reach out to more than 5 people. You can't just, you're going to have to just talk to strangers. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to do this, you're just going to have to do that. And I was frustrated. I was like, what do you mean? I'm going to... And I booked like 20 shoots that month. Like, I did so much content with people. I had no idea who they were. Granted, I made sure I asked like few friends, like, do you know this person? All right. What do you recommend? Great. Awesome. I took those lists. I reached out accordingly. I sent them all the same prompt. I was like, I'm here. I'm shooting this if you're interested. To my surprise, most people were. A lot more than I ever thought would be interested. Even people with large followings were interested. So if you're new or smaller, like, I'm not super, I don't know. I'm all right. But I'm not anything special. So even if you're not like 100,000 follower famous, whatever, you can reach out to those people and you'd be surprised. I've had some really fun, interesting, and some upcoming scenes of people that are not even doing collabs, but they are. They're just selective.
Did Johnny Sins make love to you?
No, I never worked with him. It's not really a goal of mine. I'm not really into bald guys. I think I never met a bald guy who didn't deserve to be bald. So what did he do? I know it's genetics, but like, think about it.
Someone who's losing their hair.
Well, you don't have it gone yet. No. Did you deserve to be bald?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm sure if you've asked some people I've been involved with in my life.
They might agree.
Yeah. Someone we were referring to before, Lexi, I'm sure if you asked her, she would...
That's actually the person that came from. The person that doesn't like you made that phrase.
Yep.
And I love it, though. I mean, I stand by it because I know so many people who are bald or balding who kind of like earned it. I'm not saying you personally are like a bad enough guy to really deserve to be bald, but
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, some people like balding. That some people are into that.
There's a lot of people with daddy issues. I
have daddy issues.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
You don't look like my dad, so it wouldn't count. Actually, I fucked a guy who looked just like my father, and it made me so uncomfortable because I didn't realize till after. And I'm like, wait. And the guy was super nice. You want to take me
pack you a lunch afterwards?
He tried to take me on dates, like go to Build-A-Bear and stuff, and like kind of cute. And I was like, yeah, this would be great if I were still really traumatized. And I told him, I was like, I can't date you anymore. He was like, why? I'm like, you look like my dad. He's like, what if I got a face tattoo? I was like, that does not help. My dad has face tattoos.
Also, why the fuck would you try to change your look for someone you were just dating?
I know.
Why would you try to change your look for anyone besides yourself? Especially someone
you just start fucking.
You just start fucking. I have never had a pussy so good in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change my life around over this pussy.
This pussy will fix me. Well, I don't know. I've definitely made some questionable choices on the sake of like trying to be better for someone else. But
well, yeah, you're still young and dumb.
I know. I had to actually pull up a photo of my dad, though, for him to be convinced that's a good enough reason for him not to be my boyfriend. I'm like, I cannot keep fucking you. Look at him. Look at you. Look in the mirror and look at that photo and then tell me that I shouldn't be uncomfortable because it's too close. It's too close. And I hate it because he was very nice. But short-lived, like 2 dates, and I was like, I can't get over it. I don't even know my dad, but like, damn, like it's uncomfortable.
Your dad in prison?
He did do like 12 years. Yeah. I think criminals make the hottest children. My mom was a criminal. My dad was a criminal. And look at me. I'm not a criminal. I mean, I do porn. I guess it might be a crime eventually.
Well, it's definitely a crime in Tennessee.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
To do porn?
Mm-hmm.
Since when?
Since always. No, seriously. I'm not fucking around. It is actually only legal to make porn in New Hampshire, California, and Nevada.
Well, how come I can cam from Tennessee then? That's so crazy.
Are you camming with someone else or not?
Sometimes, yeah.
So legally,
That's strange.
yeah, it's one of those things.
How come the websites let us do it?
They don't care.
They don't care. Well, I mean, unless a cop comes and like watches me do it, I'm okay, right? Like, if someone, I have to get caught filming.
It's one of those things where it's never fucking enforced in these days.
Yeah.
It's only legal in California because of a 1981 state Supreme Court ruling.
Fascinating. Not even in Vegas?
So Vegas is...
In Miami? And Atlanta, I know definitely has it too, because I remember when I shot my first porn scene, they told me to say that I was in Atlanta and not in Nashville. Because I shot my first porn scene in Nashville.
Yeah, Atlanta's not legal. Georgia's not legal. Florida's not legal. So Nevada is legal because of their states. It's never been tried in Nevada, but their state Supreme Court issued a ruling because of the California ruling that it's legal.
I know they have brothels that are legal in Nevada.
Yeah, but the brothel laws
it's very specific, yeah.
Very specific and not legal in Clark County or Nevada.
No, Vegas. It has to be a city with a certain like lower population.
Under 10,000.
Yeah, under 10,000. There's a international sex museum or whatever in Vegas. I went there. They have an exhibit about the chicken ranch, and it's really fun to look at.
New Hampshire is also legal because of a state Supreme Court ruling.
Fascinating.
But nowhere else is it actually legal. It's just not enforced.
That's terrifying. Well, just kidding. If you're over here in Tennessee and wondering if I'm filming porn, totally not. I would never do that.
Well,
I come to California to
if you're doing solo shit, that's not illegal. It's technically when the exchange of money for sexual acts happens, it's prostitution.
Well, there's no exchange of money on camming until you're done with the show.
Right.
It's tokens you're exchanging. You're not exchanging.
But also, you are doing it by yourself. If you're doing it by yourself.
Well, what if there's no monetary exchange? It's just content. Does that count as like, I'm not like, it's a weird one. I know. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, because like I've shot content with other people, but it's never been like, okay, that's not true. I did one scene in Tennessee where I was paid and it was a pro amateur scene. So that's a shady area on that one. But it's a good company. The guy's not a bad guy.
Oh, no, I'm not saying anyone's doing anything immoral. I'm just saying by the letter of the law.
That's technically incorrect. Yeah, it's so fucked up. Yeah. I mean, it's not fucked up because like it's law, but it's like fucked up because like, why did I know that? I've been doing this for 5 years. Fuck.
Most people don't know that shit.
No, most people don't. And I feel like that should be like,
that
should be a regulation of the sites we're on.
Well, but that's also a thing like where back in the day, why features had to be made because you had to prove that it was a creative work. That's why it's allowed. It's because it's a First Amendment protected art. It's an expression. It's it's a freedom of expression.
Yeah.
So that's why there had to be art that was attached to it. That's why there had to be a story. That's why there had to be a plot.
Interesting. I did not realize that's why we had such shitty porn plots. It's because there had to be something.
It had to be an artistic work.
Well, at least a few scenes I've done, most of them have a script, so I can argue on that. Even then, it's not right. But like, it's not just a porn film.
But that's how
it's a real talking.
That's how they argued it in 1981.
Okay.
But as societies evolved and obscenities changed, there's been gonzo scenes. There's just no setup anymore. It doesn't have to be. Society's moved on to having to like.
What's your opinion on like? Are you pro gonzo or pro like keeping it legal?
Are you talking about for me getting off, or are you talking about like
both? Like as someone who's editing the content / someone who's getting off to it, someone who's producing it. Like for me, I think gonzo is just so much easier. I don't even think the fans care, but some people like the plot.
No, some people definitely like the plot. Definitely like the stuff. I personally do not.
Theming, but I think like there's no need to give it too much scripting. I think you just be like, all right, I'm wearing the outfit, and fuck me in it.
I care about costuming and hot people, and generally then
performance
being people I don't know.
Oh, that's helpful. It's so hard to watch porn once you've been doing porn. I still love to get up.
Europeans. So many Europeans.
Well, I like Americans. I know I have to go look really hard. I had to go look for amateur content again, which is really funny that I feel like most porn stars watch mostly amateur content.
I know a couple of people that are
awkward. You know these people too well to watch them get off.
I know some people that are just like hentai.
I know some people like that too. That get off to mostly hentai. Shout out Nami, love you.
I'm just all about like European girls. It terrifies me when I eventually have to go to Explicit Amsterdam to meet some of these girls. I'm like, no,
not anymore. I was so jerk off and I was like, well, we didn't have girls who don't speak English. You can't talk to them.
Yeah. Well, my one asterisk caveat is that like if we fucked, then it's okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I kind of get that. Like if well, I don't know. Maybe yeah. I mean, I get that. My partners are the same way. Like they're like, oh, it's hard to watch porn. It's not yours now, and that's kind of
the way I look at it is like, well, this is just kind of like a memory.
Yeah, it's like I know what that feels like. I can. That feels good. Yeah, it gets in there. I can imagine. Yeah, definitely. I've jerked off to my own porn a couple times, but usually when I'm kind of sad. I'm like, I remember being 19 and jerking off to my own porn back when I was very unsure of myself and where I was going. And I was like, I'm never gonna get fucked that good again. No one's ever gonna fuck me like that ever again. And I've been fucked so much better. It's actually, not like that again. We're gonna get it so good, and so many times. I could probably take 4 dicks tonight if I really tried hard enough. But that's not my goal. But I could.
Why aren't you doing that, slacker?
Because I don't have anal. I don't do anal.
All veg. Slacker.
I probably would do double vag before I do.
No, 4.
All in one? I know I've seen a triple. Like I've seen 3 dicks go into one hole. I think it was a gay scene though. I don't think it was like vaginal, but it's not impossible.
It's not.
It's not. I do like to watch porn of things that I physically can't do. Like,
why are you saying you can't physically do that?
Because I don't do it yet. I mean, maybe I could. I probably could pull off.
Stop being a slacker.
I just need to have faith in myself. I need the right guidance. I need good support staff and team to help me, feel properly. If there's a company out there that shoots anal porn that would like to coerce and guide me gently.
No one should be coercing you.
Okay, guide me gently with persuasion. I don't know. I think I need to be persuaded to do anal. I have to be bargained into it.
Yeah, don't do it then.
Well, I still want to. I just think I want to make it a game.
Then do it in real life. Even then, that's still. Yeah.
I want when I told the guys that I date that, I mean, you can fuck me in the ass if you could date me for a year.
Are you breaking up with people on Date 364?
No, they leave way before then. They leave way before then.
Why are they leaving you?
Well, I do porn.
So?
Guys from Tennessee really can't stomach that.
Well, then you should definitely not live there.
I know. It's hard. It's so hard. Maybe you're going to convince me. We'll see. If I end up changing my lease in the next year, it's his fault. And everybody else's that's also told me this information.
Yeah, I should not be the person who convinces you to move to California.
Probably not, but I feel like Lexi's been trying really hard to get me to move out here for a few years. Or not years, at least a year and a half now. She's been trying to get me to come out here. And so
are you saying I'm convincing you better than Lexi is? That's wild.
I don't know how, but somehow, yeah. Well, because her lifestyle seems impossible for me to obtain at this point. She's really worked her ass off, literally, to get to where she is. And she got in at a perfect time too, before the OnlyFans boom in 2020. And so there's just a difference. I can't compare us. We're not the same person.
No.
We're not even going to have remotely comparable experiences in this industry. So for me to even think that I could have what she has and or what she's accomplished is just a stupid thing. I don't compare her and I don't try to achieve what she's achieved. My goals are not her goals. You cannot be friends with someone who has the same goal as you. It's nearly impossible because you're going to be competing with each other. I like a little bit of competition. I like someone to motivate me to be a better version of myself, which is what we tend to do for each other. But I can't be with someone or be friends with someone who, again, wants what I have and or is going to try to take it from me. I want someone who wants to help me get there, and I will help them get to where they want to be. And that's more beneficial. And there's not very many friends in this industry like that. Gatekeeping is terrible, and it happens so much. I don't gatekeep anything. If I have information I can give it to you, I'll give it to you. As long as you're not an asshole. If you're an asshole, I will. I will absolutely be I don't know. Google it. Google it. Because everything is pretty Googleable, honestly. You don't need to ask.
Yeah, but there's a lot of misinformation there, too.
True. And if you want to know how I do it specifically, then you will need to ask me. I tie my rope very unique. I do abstract decorative harnesses. So it's not necessarily difficult. It's just not something that is easy to explain until you try it. So
speaking of rope tying, do you know Tim Woodman?
I don't, actually.
Should make that introduction. He does.
Tim Woodman? He does La Shibari?
Yeah.
Great. I know a lot of
people actually
teaching Shibari.
He's actually teaching a rope bondage class real soon.
Oh, interesting. In the area?
Uh-huh.
I might have to attend if I'm in town. Yeah, I love learning from new people. And I always pack my rope. I always have it with me if I'm going on any sort of work trip or even one that might be passively just potentially kinky. If I know there's a chance of kink coming, I'm bringing it.
How is there not a chance of kink coming?
Well, if I come to LA, there is.
Well, no, but just anywhere. How are you right? Just
if you go to a family reunion, I'm probably not going to be getting any kinky stuff going on. I wouldn't pack that for that.
Why not? Not saying you bang a family member. I'm saying
I'm from Tennessee, but I'm not a cousin fucker,
Yeah, there are other people at the hotel.
Well, who said you're staying at a hotel?
Okay, there's other people at the trailer park?
I did live in a trailer park for a while, but then again, there was some family that still had decent housing. They just didn't let us have it. They're like, oh, you poor little thing, teen mom. She'll figure it out.
I actually want to, speaking of your family, I want to roll back a little bit.
Yeah.
So what were your parents in for?
My dad, it was really funny. My dad was just a delinquent from the beginning. He was a delinquent when he met my mother. I was born, my mom was 15, my dad was 17. So
Yeah, I'm older than your parents.
yeah, my mom passed, but yeah, you're older than my dad probably. I still got daddy issues. Still. And it's not even his fault. Like, he didn't do it. My stepdad did. Yeah, my dad did time for mostly like petty drug charges. Like, he got caught with like a Suboxone one time as he was jaywalking across the street. So I don't jaywalk anywhere because my dad served 2.5 years in Mansfield prison over jaywalking with one pill in his pocket because he pissed off too many cops. The other crimes he committed were fighting cops.
That's a bad plan.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought. Then some of them would instigate it. Like, they would take off their body cams and turn off, like, no, it's fine. We'll fucking fight. And then they'd lose, and then they'd arrest him after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a surprise to no one.
I mean, my dad's from Ohio. What'd you expect?
Him to be morbidly obese?
No, if anything, the opposite. Quite the scrawny little guy.
Well, I'm just talking about most Ohioans.
Yeah. I thought they were all, well, either they're morbidly obese or they're completely twacked out on whatever new drug they can formulate for them.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Their health issues can allow them. Otherwise, yeah.
There's a reason that every fast food chain in America tries out their new menu items in Ohio.
I did not think about that. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. But yeah, and he was just kind of notoriously disruptive. He was good at being in jail, I guess, and good at doing prison time. He didn't struggle too much. I mean, he wasn't rich anyways, but he was just good at it. Like,
well, no, if he was rich, he wouldn't be in prison.
yeah, well, I mean, some people, end up in prison rich.
Very few.
Very few. Very few are fortunate enough to do that. Because usually if you're rich enough to, be good in prison, you're rich enough to not go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And my mom, funny enough, the only time she actually did time, because I'm a second generation sex worker, actually. My mother did sex work, not like I do.
Full service?
Yeah, and again, she passed away in 2020, so I don't mind really speaking on her behalf. My siblings are near adults now, so it's fine. We've already kind of discussed that we would talk about this at some point. But yeah, she didn't go to jail for any of her sex work charges. She only went to jail for falsifying her tags. She put a bad sticker on there, and they got her for a year. And then she got out and passed because it was definitely a suicide. But yeah, no, you learn and live through that. And so I try to advocate to, don't abuse opiates. Don't even.
Oh, so it was an unintentional suicide.
I think it was intentional because she had just gotten out of jail and, things weren't going great. Her life is pretty much already ruined. Her addiction had already consumed her. She was a very beautiful woman when she didn't use. And funny enough, she got on the opiates because of dental problem. She had a bad, her teeth removed, and they gave her that, and then downhill from there. But yeah, no, it's just something that I don't take very lightly, and always try to speak up against when I can. It's a sad topic when you think about porn, but funny enough, I've actually had cam shows where I've discussed even potentially going as far as to doing a fundraising stream for opiate abuse and awareness. I've done 2 different charity streams, if not 3. Yeah, 3. And one of which was the most abundant was for Ukraine. We raised over $5,400 in 5 hours.
For opiates for Ukraine?
No. For, I know, it's totally random subject. But yeah, I do want to do an opiate abuse awareness stream, charity streams at some point. And I do have support from other models to do it. It's just a very hard thing to want to commit to. I don't know when the right time is. There's never a right time. And I don't know if I really want to go into my cam show and be like, hey, this is what we're here for, and now we're gonna fuck to make money to save for opiate abuse. I don't know. It's a strange one. I want to do it, but I want to do it with grace, and I don't want to do it like something too dirty. I want to be obviously in this industry because she was a sex worker at one point, and she struggled. But I don't want to do it trashy. I guess there has to be some way to have class while also camming and also fundraising because I did it before, but it's not. I don't know. It's a tricky one. Definitely a hard one to chew and digest and to give to everybody else. But I know a lot of people that are passionate about it. Not just me, but other cam models who have lost family members or even just other models, just similar things.
Opiates have killed a lot of fucking people.
So many people. So many people. And it's not talked about enough because there's so much shame of the addicts. We just hate the addicts. Hate the addict. No, love them. And it's hard to love them. I'm not saying you should give them your money, but you shouldn't cast them out like I did because I regret it. If I could give my mom the opportunity, if I could trade my parents and have the dad be done and my mom still be here, I would. And also just to give her a chance to do what I'm doing.
It's a balancing act because you can't help someone who doesn't want to be fucking helped.
It's true. No.
And you can't fucking set your own ship on fire.
That's true, to save them. And I didn't. But it doesn't mean that I wouldn't want someone else who does want help to not feel like they couldn't get it. Because there's so much, people don't think there is hope. There's so much hope if you let there be. Hope will also destroy you though if you let it.
Well, 100%. Because you can't have disappointment without expectations. And that's what hope is. Hope is expectations.
Yeah. How do you live without hope? Because I remember watching an episode of Midnight Gospel. That is a great start. But other than that, like, what else can you do to live without hope? Because naturally, you just live.
Just live. Because
people just actually live. Like, they don't question everything they're doing.
Oh, no, I question everything I'm fucking doing.
But you live through it somehow.
Yeah.
You're old enough to have done that. Like, you're going to have to wake up tomorrow. There's no choice. You just accept it.
I gamble sometimes that I won't. But.
Well, yeah, if you have a couple more of those, you might. Your liver must be like made of steel.
It's well trained.
Mine too, though. I can drink like 5 or 6 nice craft cocktails and be solid the next day. Before I came to LA this trip, whatever. I'm 5'1" and like 115 pounds.
Cool.
5 drinks. How many drinks can you have in one night before you've been like, oh, ooh,
A lot.
Okay, but what's that number?
Okay, have you seen how much bourbon I've drank tonight already?
Well, do you see I brought my own and it's nearly empty? We'll finish it off.
Yeah, it's a pint.
I'm a baby. I've never finished a pint like this.
You haven't finished it yet either.
Well, I will. It will
Tough talk. Tough talk.
I have titties to talk with now.
I didn't say anything about your tits. I said nothing about
I just grew them too. Like, I didn't even have boobs until I stopped vaping. I quit vaping in December. I used nicotine for years. I loved it. I never thought I'd quit. It was like a part of my personality to be a nicotine user. And then I stopped. I think it was like financial bills. Like, I just didn't want to deal with the expense that came with it. I got really tired of paying for it. And so I quit because of that. And I don't regret it. I would do it over and over again. But I won't be going back to nicotine. I still haven't used it. It's been since December of 2023.
Move on to cigars. They're much better.
Well, okay, occasionally, I don't smoke cigars. But if someone has like a blunt and it's wrapped in tobacco leaf, I don't count that. Because it's more about the weed than it is about the...
For sure.
Like, I'm not intentionally going and buying a pack of cigarettes after that. I'm not buying a vape after that. I've not purchased any tobacco products beyond just like a blunt. I prefer hemp wraps.
Cigars are one of my vices.
I like the smell of cigars. My grandfather smoked them, so they're nostalgic. And I like going to Vegas. I can walk in and smell the cigars. I'm like, it triggers a part of my brain that brings me comfort, but also confusion because it's attractive to a certain extent to smell cigars. Like, it smells like money. It's often just like middle class. That's fine.
It's me role playing being wealthy. It's just the cigar.
Yeah, it's me role playing being wealthy by drinking like a nice craft cocktail. I'm like, I can afford this.
I was about to say Malibu is not role playing.
No, I'm not role playing well at all. No, I didn't. Well,
it's in a plastic bottle.
I didn't want to spend most of my interview like sitting here like shaking egg whites. Like, okay, so my dad went to jail for.
I'm sure someone would be into it. Just you doing the shake weight.
By all means, order a custom. I'll do it. And so my trauma started when.
Make that money.
I will do it all if I have to. Honestly, I'd rather make money off of my experiences. And I have had a lot of fans just pay to talk to me one-on-one, like have a FaceTime session, just talk about life.
I don't owe you money, do I?
No. I also have never met a stranger in my life and will talk to literally anyone who will make eye contact with me. Today alone, I was talking to strangers left and right and around the corner. So much so it makes some of my friends, they're like, why are you talking to strangers? I'm like, because they're not scary. Strangers are the least of my concerns. People I know that I got to worry about. Often the case. Strangers, never had a problem with a stranger. I've always had problems with people I know, though. Not always, but historically speaking, I don't have problems with strangers. I love strangers. They're great. They're not expecting it.
Yeah, but you're inviting a stranger to be someone you know. Mm-hmm. And then inviting someone to be a problem.
No, I don't get to know them very long. They're like in and out. Like
you don't have to know them that long for them to be a problem. They're just someone you know then.
Well, I don't know their name.
Well,
do I know them if I don't know their name? Like, what takes knowing someone? What do you differ?
I don't know. I've been inside people I don't know their name.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, same.
So, you've been inside people you don't know their name?
Oh, their legal name. I mean, I don't look at it very much. I have to take, like, IDs and stuff because, like, paperwork is important.
Yeah, no. I'm not talking about in a professional setting. I have fucked people I do not know their name.
I forget their names. I may have heard their name, and then it just never was important to remember.
There's definitely a couple of people who I...
Didn't even ask?
Well...
Actually, I've had a couple people I didn't ask either. Yeah,
there's definitely a couple people I didn't ask. There's definitely a couple people who are like, I'm a piece of shit, and I definitely should know their name.
Oh yeah, I mean, same. Like if I ran into a guy at a bar and I fucked him like 2 years ago while I was at my bender phase, like not bender, but like I was just horny. I would fuck nearly anything that I found slightly attractive. I was like, "You have tattoos? Bet good enough." and I would take them home and rock their world. I give them the best blowjob of their life, and then I'd never talk to them again because I didn't know their name or number.
Important.
It's very important not to get their name and number if you don't want to talk to them again.
Agreed. Now, there was a girl I dated. I guess I dated for like half a second. All I remember, she had her hair dyed purple and was wearing like rainbow socks the first time we fucked.
Oh, fun.
And otherwise, I don't remember her fucking name at all.
I remember this hot guy. It was actually kind of funny. It was
But this is what I dated.
You dated her?
We did this multiple times.
Well, I mean, she obviously probably didn't care too much if you knew her name, if you're doing it multiple times.
I know, she was pretty upset at the end.
Well, you shouldn't have told her.
I didn't tell her I didn't remember her name. I remembered her name at the time.
Did you not know anyone who knew her?
No, it was the girl I met on like a fucking dating app.
You couldn't go back on the dating app and ask her, like, you could just like, go back to where you met her.
I may have known at the time. I don't remember now. This is 20 years ago. You possibly weren't born yet.
They had Tinder back then?
Okay, Cupid.
They had even that back then? I thought it was like only eHarmony. You know, farmers dating only, you know.
Oh, yeah, because in Chicago, I'm definitely getting on that farmers dating app.
Farmers only. I've never been on there, but I feel like it's just like a conservative cesspool more than likely. And I'm a very middle girl. I'm like a centralist, if I will. I have liberal views most of the time, but occasionally, you know, I kind of have like, I think you should have a gun. You should be able to punch people in the face if they punch you in the face. I live in a stand your ground state, so being in California is kind of scary for me. Because if someone came up and hit me, I would hit them back and I'd get in trouble.
No, you wouldn't.
Really? I've heard like you can't fight back. You're supposed to like call for help.
Oh, what you're supposed to do and what actually works in real life.
Okay, because what actually is going to happen is I'm going to knock the fuck out of them. I'm not going to let that happen.
Oh, no. If you hit them first.
They hit me first. No, imagine I get attacked. I'm going to fight back. Right. I'm going to, I don't care if you're 6'4". I will, I have
By the time LAPD responds, it'll be all over. You will have gone home already. So don't worry about it.
Exactly. In Tennessee, though, like you have the right. Like you are allowed. Like you are able, more than willing, by all means, have your fun. And they don't even ask you for a permit for a gun, I don't think. They just like give you one. Like palm citizens, say, get a gun. Shoot it in your backyard. No one's going to be bothered.
As the old saying goes, it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Yeah, fair. I won't be mad by that.
As someone who's a gun owner in California.
You can have, I thought that wasn't a thing, but.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a thing.
It's a good thing to have.
I own guns.
I'm not against it. Like, I personally don't think that assault rifles should be wildly popular. Like, I don't think you should be able to, nuke an entire classroom in less than a minute. Like, you should have to, like, pull and be intentional with each bullet.
So, that's a misnomer.
That's a what?
At the end of the day, if no one's returning fire, it really doesn't matter what kind of gun you have.
That's true.
And a semi-automatic handgun, Virginia Tech was done with a fucking Glock.
Well, I'm talking about like specifically ARs. Like I don't think military grade, specifically like the large ones shouldn't be commercial use. Like we shouldn't have those available at Dick's Sporting Goods. They're usually not. Usually not.
It's a 223 rifle, whatever. Like,
I just don't think. I don't know. I'm indifferent. Like I've been a gun owner before. I've had a gun. I've raised around them. I'm very good with them. I won't miss my shot if you give me one, and I'm safe with them. But not everyone is qualified to be safe with them.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think there should be regulation about who is a gun owner and who isn't.
There definitely should be that. There definitely should be more mandatory training.
Yes.
Because the problem is, in a lot of states in this country, you can cash and carry with zero qualifications for it, and you are. Assuming you're not out here committing crimes with the thing, you are potentially more of a liability to yourself
than to anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I know all too well. Like, and living in a state where it's just the norm, like you're supposed to have one. If you don't have one, then you're stupid. And I don't think that's the case either. I have a door machete. I promise you, my machete is going to scare you a lot more than a gun. But if you have a gun, it's weird to bring a gun to a knife fight. So,
well, I'm not of the opinion that you should be scaring anyone with a gun.
No.
I'm of the opinion that if you see my gun, it's probably the last thing you're going to see.
Hopefully. Yes, that's what it's supposed to be. I had a peeping Tom when I first moved into my first apartment at 19, like living alone. I had no roommates, just me. And so that's why I got big on home defense. Is because dude was dick pressed against my window, masturbating and recording me at that age. And so like for me, it's something that I just need to have to feel asleep at night. And the cop recommended instead of a gun that I buy a giant knife. And so
you should have got a dog.
I have a cat.
You should have got a dog.
But I don't have a cat.
You could have both.
I grew up raising pit bulls, and it's more of an obligation thing. Like, I don't have the ability to maintain the responsibility of keeping a dog having the happiest life. Like, I would not want to take responsibility for any living creature that I could not provide the best life and quality for. And I could not give a dog the best life and quality, but I can give my cat the best quality.
This explains why no one makes it a year.
In the industry?
No. Dating you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what does that mean? Because I don't want a dog?
No, because you don't want to take care of anything.
That's also fair. Well, I'm relatively agreeable in a relationship. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to pretend to lie about that one.
Right,
I'm not even close to being agreeable.
No.
Way or the highway.
There was a grain of truth in that joke.
I was like, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm totally accepting of the fact that I'm not cut out for most relationships, and that's why I'm such a great porn person. I'm not gonna say porn star because I definitely am not qualified to call myself that. I have sucked a few dicks on a few decent cameras, but ultimately, I guess I hate to claim myself as this, but a content creator. Ugh. But I'm a highly respected content creator in the professional world. I can go get pro talent to work with me, and I think that's something to be proud of. Yeah, and that alone, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not nobody, but I'm not a porn star. I wish I was sometimes, but I'm like, no, I don't. I don't think I do. I know what that could be like. I could be one if I really wanted to be. I could be anything if I wanted to be. But I don't want to be more than a porn star or a sex worker or just someone who has the sexual freedom to create what they want to create without the limitations of someone else.
What do you want to create?
I really love, I've been coming up with a concept for a BDSM website. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because I do own the domain for it. I have purchased some rights on it, but I haven't been able to actually make much of it.
Why not?
Well, it's, like I said, money. I have to have the money to support that and to support myself, and it's just not quite there yet. I have a lot of support emotionally from people.
Get people to do content trades.
Well, it's not that. The concept of it has nothing to do with me. It's something separate from me. It's something that I'm working on building later. Once I retire, they'll be retire. It'll be more like I'm transitioning into owning this website rather than me being an individual artist. And it's really because I'm such an advocate for consented BDSM. And I know there's a safe, happy, healthy, consensual way to do almost everything. And there are qualified talent and there are people who are not qualified. And I'm really tired of seeing BDSM companies in this industry book for popularity because they want to sell content rather than book for qualification. I've seen way too many injuries, accidents, and violations happen on these professional sets with BDSM where that shouldn't have been an issue if they were practicing ethically. It just shouldn't happen. And I personally saw firsthand. That's why I won't do it. I'm just like, wow, they really let her stay in that suspension way longer than necessary. I've been paralyzed. I've had nerve damage because of shibari going wrong with professional trained teachers, people who do this as their passion, and they still can make mistakes. So for a company like that to put the hands of someone very important at risk is just reckless. And I will never allow that in my company when I do form it. And it's not that when I do, it's when it's ready for everyone else. It's not there yet. But in theory, when I've told people, all the models I've mentioned it to are happy to join on board with that concept because it is something that needs to be done. I'm tired of there being misrepresentation of BDSM and it being kink.com being the only standard of, yeah, this is safe sex. It's not. Actually, most of the females I've heard that have worked for kink.com have had strong opinions about not being their favorite. And that's okay. But I want them to enjoy it. I've never been a rope top that would put someone in a position where they're not feeling safe. If you don't feel like you can get out or that you have the ability to tell me, then you're not safe. You're not safe if you can't consent and you can't actively consent. If you're not able to revoke consent, you're not feeling safe. You need to know that you have that choice, whether money's involved or not. And so another thing I wanted to employ, which is kind of hard to do without money, is that if my talent got there, and I don't want talent to take advantage of this, but if the talent got there and they could not complete the scene due to whatever reason, they should still get some sort of compensation for showing up and trying. I wouldn't want to book someone that couldn't do it and wasn't passionate about it. That's also a goal. I don't want to book you because you have 100,000 followers. I want to book you because you're passionate about this specific fetish that you're the safest person to book that for. So if I'm going to do an asphyxiation kink with a bag over your head, it's not going to be your first time doing that. That's going to be something that I know as your profile that you can handle and that you enjoy, that you perform well at, and that you can do with grace and confidence, and it's good. People would rather consume content with people they don't know than this profitable porn star, right? Sure, you can book Lexia do that, but that might not be her kink. Maybe she's not into that. So is it really going to be as good as someone who's passionate about it? Why are we booking so many people who don't want to do what they're doing?
Because they're acting.
Yeah, but you can act and be passionate about it. Porn's also about realism, right? Yes,
depends on the scene.
Depends on the scene. But BDSM, you want it to be more authentic and real. Right? Collective Corruption's doing a great job, in my opinion, of booking people who are passionate. And I've gotten opportunities to work with some of their talent, and I will. I continue to pursue that when I have time to go and do it. But they're the only people I think that would even be a comparison to what I'm trying to do. And they're not even quite doing what I have in mind. I'm not going to tell you every detail, obviously, because,
How dare you?
But I do have a strong opinion about it. And even though I myself am not as crazy active in my BDSM community scene that I used to be, it doesn't mean that I don't have a heart for it and that I'm not going to fight for it and that I'm not going to advocate for there's a better way of doing this. I teach classes at Exotica on flogging safety and basics of consent. I always find a way to preach about it online when I can because people like to come into my chat room and be like, you're going to do this for this much. I'm like, actually, no, we're not doing anything. Just because I'm here and that's an option does not mean that you have the right to abuse or take advantage or to assume that you have the power over me because you have money. Money does not move me. Motivate me, yes, but it does not move me. If I don't want it, I'm not going to do it. You can give me $1 million and I still won't take it if it means going against who I am as a person.
Though, if they took $1 million in quarters and pushed it over on you, you would move.
Eventually, yeah. I mean,
no.
It would knock me over.
I mean, yeah. That's a lot of quarters.
That's a lot of quarters. I don't even know if they can put $1 million of quarters around me. It would be like bigger than the state of Tennessee.
Not that much.
No, it wouldn't be city size.
So a box of quarters is about yay long, yay high. It's $500.
Oh, okay.
So $1,000.
At least the apartment building.
It'd be pretty big.
Yeah, it wouldn't be small.
No,
by no means. I'm a size queen. Well, okay, I'm a moderate size queen. I can't.
You said earlier this. You literally said earlier in this podcast. You're on record being like, I don't care how big the dick is if they choke me well. You literally said.
Did I say that?
You did.
Okay, well I lied. I do care about the size of the dick, and I care that they choke me well. I want it to be at least like 5.5 inches. That's like the minimum.
And that's below average.
Oh yeah, good girth. 5.5 inches is okay. It's not my favorite.
5.5's below average.
I really prefer 7.
Okay, but that's above average.
Yeah, I prefer 7. And I don't think anything above 10 is necessary. Yeah, I've done 10. 10's too much.
Well,
but I did it. 8 so 11 would be more.
8 tore you more earlier.
It was because I hadn't done it very long. And he was girthy. Big old girth. It was a good time, though. One day, maybe that same talent will do a bi threesome with me. I'm still working my ass off. I really want a bi threesome. I can't. It's so hard to get 2 guys in the same room.
Talk to Wolf Hudson.
Wolf Hudson? I will. I will reach out to anybody who will do it.
Wolf's not in Houston these days, so.
Oh, well, that's the catch, is that when I'm out here, I'm trying to book with an LA. And so you get to like catch people when they're in town. Like this guy was from Vegas that was just through, and he's very into doing bi stuff. So I was like, he might come back and shoot with me. Maybe.
That is Wolf's jam.
Is bi threesomes?
Yeah.
That's like me with my regular threesomes. Like it's my jam. People know me for it. I would love to meet more bi creators. So that's definitely.
He definitely produces a lot of stuff where it's just like girl 2 dudes, like all.
Yeah. Portfolio.
I guess that's all technically reverse cowgirl all the way down.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing, honestly. The more you know, that's right, people, truly, to find those types of scenes because it's not something that is super common.
Yeah, no, reach out to Wolf.
It's definitely desirable. Like people love it. I jerk off to that all the time. That's my favorite kink. Is like.
Then how do you not know Wolf? He's good people.
I probably do know and don't even realize it. I probably watch this content and don't even realize it. Wolf Hudson?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't let me forget that. I have some contacting to do.
He's good people. I've known him for years.
Oh, I know. And it's amazing how many great people there are. You could tell if someone's good or not by how long they've been able to handle being in the porn industry without getting canceled. Like if you can survive like 5 to 7 years and still be considered a good person, like you are actually probably a really good person. And if you're still doing it and you're hated, then well, maybe you should probably see a therapist. It's okay, though.
Everyone should see a therapist. Everyone.
You're right. Everyone should. I need to get back in therapy. I was doing it for a while with pineapple support, but talk therapy just isn't my jam. I have tried.
Electro therapy?
I need to try like the weird, like something Reiki. I don't care what it is. I went to a salt bath the other night and I got more out of the salt bath and meditation than I did out of like 5 years of talk therapy. Believe it or not.
I left mushrooms.
Yeah, that too. I haven't really been a big fan of psychedelics because I did so many back when I was like in high school. I started tripping when I was 17 and I tripped every other week from May to December of 2018 until eventually I got to a point where I was hurting my own feelings. I remember calling my stepdad and I was like, I had a bad trip. Can you please come like talk to me? And he picked me up and we went to the golf range. And my family's not rich. We just went to the driving range. It was like a rundown place. It was like $10 for a bucket of balls. It's not something expensive. And he was like, yeah, so you hurt your own feelings. Toughen up. And he also told me to stop giving so much of myself to other people. I used to be the kind of girl before porn who, if I dated a guy, I would invest 110% of myself into them and just give them all of me and then lose myself in the process of dating them.
There's an asterisk there. Shaped like an asshole.
Shaped like an asshole. Yes. And then he was like, just row your own boat. And I thought he was stupid for that, but it really meant
he's
just
right.
be completely independent before you go and pursue a relationship, because you are sacrificing all of who you are and putting your identity into another person. That's not a good thing.
A good relationship should be an awesome +1, not someone who completes you.
Yeah, it should benefit you, but not even benefit. It doesn't need to benefit you. You shouldn't think about gains. Just think about happiness.
Awesome +1.
Awesome +1. Oh, just being like someone who like you would want
Like
+1.
you go to I go to the party. This is my awesome +1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that you compliment each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the person I end up with will definitely be a menace to society. There's no doubt about it. I will not be in a conventional relationship until I die. And even then, no.
Well, hopefully that relationship is not the reason you die.
Well, I hope that I stay around until I die. I want someone to be with me.
Being the cause and being there till the end are two separate things.
That is true. That is true. I do not want a tragic story. No, I don't want a tragic ending, but I don't think I'm going to live a very long time. Like, I think I'll live probably to be like, if I'm lucky, 40. That sounds crazy, but I've always thought that. I've always had that opinion.
I hate to break it to you.
I might live longer. I hope I do. My genetics say otherwise. My great grandparents are still alive and they're like 80 and 90 on both sides. Like, I have 13 living grandparents. It's crazy. Don't know how. Divorce. That's how that happened. But, don't know how they're still living, But I don't feel like I have the same chances of hope that they do.
I don't know. At your age, 30 felt fictional.
I mean, 30 doesn't feel fictional to me. It feels like I don't know who I'll be by then. I have no idea where I'll be at all. Like, it's hard to comprehend 30. It's hard to comprehend, like, that's why we don't do good things for our future self. It's because we don't know them.
Well, yeah.
We don't want to do nice things because we don't know who the fuck they are. It's a stranger.
I say this all the time. Future problems.
Future problems, yeah.
But
they're my problems. They're mine. These are actually me problems.
30 felt fictional. 40 felt fictional.
40 felt fictional?
Oh, yeah.
So the concept, did you think you were going to die before them too?
Oh, yeah. Okay. 100%. Like,
shit, am I going to have to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Ever? Or for as long as I live?
I personally did a job where I could get shot at daily, so.
What was that?
I worked for an armored car company for over a decade.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. If you want to go collect money for random strangers and then put your life at risk, by all means, you look at the type that can handle it.
Yeah, did that in my mid-20s, still like 20.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get paid okay? Not enough? At times, okay.
At times.
Did you take a little dipping from the bag?
No.
Not worth it?
No. It's always treated
I managed a few stores and restaurants, so I always had to deal with those guys too. I'm like, they just seem like, they scared me. Just like, I couldn't imagine you being scary enough, though. At 20, especially. Like, nowadays, maybe, because you have tattoos, but like at 20, like, you were like scary enough to be a armed guard dude? Were you, were you more beefy back then? Or were you less beefy? How much beef did you have at 20?
I was definitely skinnier, but I still had the wide shoulders, so.
So we were lean beef.
Yeah, I started, actually, I was fat as shit when I started the job, like.
So you're bulk beef, and then
and then I lost by
walking everywhere because you had to walk
and also dealing with thousands of pounds of coin every day.
Yeah, you had to carry all that too, but not at once. Like most stores don't have more than 15 pounds.
So I had two.
You had to bring change too, right? Yeah, okay.
I had two banks that were big retail banks that I would deliver 50 to 100 boxes of coin at a time to.
So you have to carry that into your truck and then disperse it amongst.
And then also, so the way banks work is they don't wrap their own coin.
No.
So when you take a coin to the bank, they bag it up and send it out with the truck. So I would take
all your quarters, people. Someone like you is going to have to carry them.
So I would take in 50 to 100 boxes to a bank and then take out 20 to 50 bags out.
Oh no!
Every fucking day.
Well, do you miss being in that kind of shape? No, you rather be.
Well, no, I kind of miss being in that kind of shape. I don't miss
being skinny, but I also love that me being 15 pounds heavier has given me the ability to live a more comfortable life. Being 100 pounds is unnecessary.
It's one of those things where I miss like the physical strength. I also have done like irreversible damage to my body from that job.
That's okay. Like back.
Like
do you have a disc move out of place or something? Or
probably. I've had
muscles.
I've had a hernia since the mid 2000s.
Oh, I had a hernia once. I worked for Kroger, and they didn't even want to give me workman's comp for it.
Well, it's in my belly button, and literally the doctor said to me like,
"Did you know you can get infections in your belly button?"
I'm sure.
It's fucking weird.
The doctor said like, if it doesn't hurt, we're not doing anything about it.
That's obscene. That's such American culture right there. But other countries don't have it much better because apparently in the UK, if you call for an ambulance, they'll be like, "Yeah, we'll get to you when we can."
We do that in LA too.
Really? Jesus. I live next to a fire department, so I feel like I'm safe no matter what, but I shouldn't really be leaning on
You really should be flashing those firemen whenever you can, just so they're motivated.
Yeah, I was like, please, don't let us burn. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, no one's ever been against fucking the fire department, so.
Well, yeah, no one sings fuck the fire.
No one says fuck the fire department. Yeah. You should, though. You should be fucking your local firefighters. Why aren't us as sexy women not fucking our local firefighters, especially in California? Do better. If you're in LA and you're not fucking a firefighter, you're failing. You are failing. You will need them one day and you won't even realize
I'm not into dudes. Sorry.
Not you. I said ladies. I said lucky, lovely ladies. If you have spare time, you should be doing charity service by fucking firefighters. And if you're not doing that, again, you're not trying very hard to put out these forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires by fucking the firefighters yourself. You need them to have morale and motivation like Marilyn Monroe did for the war troops. So please, go fuck your firefighters.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
In the West Coast, it's wildfires, not forest fires.
Whichever one it is, fuck the firefighter. They're fighting the fire. Like, this is a problem here, right? Like, you have fires constantly.
Yeah, constantly.
Like, there was one last night not far from where I was.
Why'd you start that?
I'm just saying. I didn't mean to. I just kind of walked past, and then God said, no.
That looked too dry. And
she's just making it like sandpaper, you know? It's been too long.
But I also really hit you. We have been doing this for over 2 hours.
Oh my God, really?
Uh-huh.
We've gotten along that well, and you thought I didn't like you.
Oh, I know you don't like me.
I do. I think you're splendid.
Like Splenda? I cause cancer?
Yeah, I mean, you're not a sugar daddy. You're a splendid guy.
On that note, we're definitely calling this motherfucker.
Oh, no, it's been really fun, though. I appreciate it. It was a great conversation.
No, it was good times.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on the things? Well, before we chat here.
I am Googleable, as I said earlier.
Not well, but
no, yeah, you had the triple X. So IvyMinxXX. That's me. I'm Ivy Minx. I do things, and you might want to watch them sometimes. If you don't, you don't. Not everything will be for you. It's not for you. It's for me. But I hope you like it. Yay.
Awesome. Ivy, it was an absolute pleasure. We'll do this again at some point.
At some point, I'm sure. It was
so confident.
Fun. It was fun.
So confident.
It was a great time. I will be back if you want me. If you don't, then
she's showing up if I invite her or not.
I am hard to get rid of. Once you got me, you got me. So
she's like herpes. She just resurfaces every once in a while.
I knew you were going to make a herpes joke about that, and that is okay. With that note,
on that note, I got to call out for hack material. Drink up, motherfuckers. I'll see you next week.
Bye.